Hello! I have an exciting new thing. I don't know if it shows yet, but, like, I have new tracking. I don't know how much better it is, but it's better. Probably. That's the big reveal for today, is that I have new tracking. Now it doesn't, like, default me into a hecking frown every time I turn my head to the side. Pa 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 pa. Ah, this is just going to be a relaxing chat stream and Q&A, and I literally show that only one person is here. So, hi! Hi, Tuzzy! It's you. You're here. I was trying to set it up yesterday, but I couldn't get it in time for the stream. So it ended up not being a thing yesterday, which is fine and good because I had more time to set it up. This is the iPhone tracking, but my model wasn't changed for the iPhone setup, if that makes sense. So I'm using an iPhone for tracking, but my model wasn't re-rigged or redesigned or anything. It's just the same model. It just tracks my face better. Or at least that's the goal. The hardest part was getting the lighting. I don't know if you can still see it, but I still have a bit of a lighting gradient on my face, so that when I move to one side, it's brighter than when I move to the other side. That is something I've always had with my tracking, and if you go back and watch my videos, you can see it clearly, and actually I want to make it a little bit more clear. But that's weirdly important to me. I don't know why. I don't know why that's actually genuinely important to me. I think it's mostly just because so few other VTubers use it, so few other people do it. Oh, that changes that? Oh, okay. Does it actually change my resolution if I do that? A little bit, yeah. Huh, weird. What was I checking? Yes, I made it the choice to... I mean, let's be honest with you. You guys know I'm into VTubing for the long haul. I plan on doing this until I can make money from it, and then I plan on making money from it until I can make, you know, enough money to survive on it. And I don't know how long that'll be, but I should give myself as many tools and resources as early as possible. I did not reach my goal. In fact, I haven't gotten any donations in 2 weeks. I've gotten nothing, but it's still fine. It's fine. I should be going to point to. Pa 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 pa. There we go. Mouth is a little bit better now. Actually, is that too much? Let's try that. Pa 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 pa. Pa 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 pa. Hi. How is Anna? Welcome. But yeah, no, that's the big announcement, is that I have actual better face tracking, which also puts less strain on my USB hub, which I don't know if that was actually causing a problem. I don't know, but I did have my USB crash a few times. I was also getting some heat in my computer case. Not, like, massive amounts of heat, but enough heat that I'm wondering if that was related. Now, usually, when you get heat issues on a computer, the issue is not, like, weird USB stuff. It's usually something catastrophic, right? It's usually something like, oh, hey, the computer shut down, or hey, oh, hey, my video card is now artifacting and showing me a bunch of weird stuff. That's usually what it means to have a failure. I should probably move myself over a bit. Ah, I'm over here. Yeah, that's better for... Actually, where do I want to be actually for my home screen? Punk. Punk, 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 punk. But yeah, now you can actually see me when I say... Oh, that's actually a bit much. You can actually see... I don't actually have a full body model yet. You can actually see that there, which you shouldn't be able to, but that's okay. There. That'll be another thing, but that's going to be a ways away. So, like, I can justify that I need the tracking to get better tracking, because what I found with my rig is some of the USB ports don't have enough power. Yeah, I have a USB 3.0 hub. I got it off of... What's that? I got it off of AliExpress, but it works amazingly well. The thing I like about it is that it has separate ports, separate switches for every USB port, so I don't need to leave everything on. Yeah, the iPhone was a secret tech thing that we were trying to work on yesterday. And it's an iPhone XR. The cheapest one you can get. It's the cheapest one that has the software that we need. And it's the cheapest one that supports the software and has the hardware and has the things. Let me see if show you my USB hub. Because it is very neat and cool, and also I love it. And hello, Ripley. But yeah, I know it. Any USB hub that you get that doesn't have a power connector is probably one that you is going to get overloaded easily. Any good USB hub, especially 3.0, is going to require additional power. That's just the nature of them. That's not like, a hot take or anything. That's just, you need to make sure you have enough power to power all the devices. And I do. And that's not actually a concern. I definitely do have enough to power all of my devices. Paint. There we go. Okay, now let me grab that, and I will show you. Where did I save that as? Hold up. Oh, I put it in the test. Okay. And... this is my USB hub. I love it. So, all these... I have the bigger one. All the rocker switches... just, let me turn each port on and off, so when I'm done streaming, I don't disconnect my webcam, my mic, my Bluetooth adapter, and my light, because I have an overhead light that's actually set to it. And that's what I use. So I just turn them all off, so I'm not using them. Right now I have my backup headphones, in case my regular headphones run out of battery. I can grab those. In the first port. Second port is... where's my arrow? I might as well grab my arrow. Why not? Oh. Honestly, it should be back here. Honestly, this should be it. Like... that works. Yeah, the second one is for my actual phone charger, which I use an Android Pixel 3 XL, which is the best phone I've ever worked with, and it still works fantastic. This is just a good phone. It's just a good phone, and I have no problems with it. That's all I can ask for. Third one's empty at the moment, but that then I have my light. I have an overhead light strip that's just USB powered, and honestly, this just works as a light switch. Then I have my Bluetooth adapter, my microphone, and my Stream Deck. And the last one was, of course, my camera, which I don't currently have connected anymore. I don't have a webcam connected to my computer anymore. Let's get rid of that. Boink. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Reposition OBS. So I do use two monitors. So I usually use PRPR Live for various reasons. I could get into that if people are actually interested. But now I have to use VTube Studio, which is fine. It is a good piece of software. I preferred one of the features particularly on PRPR Live, and that was the lighting. And which I mentioned earlier, is that I was able to manage to create a little bit of a lighting effect so that I have a lighting shift across the left and right of my face if I move. I might make it a little bit more pronounced. It used to be a lot more pronounced, and I can make this one more pronounced. I can probably work on that here if people are just chilling. Oh, this is a Q&A, so like, Yeah, no, toss down questions. Ask things. Engage. This is an engagement stream. Am I going to get my model re-rigged? In time, yes. The short answer is in time, yes, but that is pretty far away. I shouldn't have bought this until I actually hit enough donations to justify it. That's the honest answer. But I wanted it, and I'm going to use it long term, so I don't regret it. It's not something that I regret. It was a good choice, and I am glad that I have it. Having said that, yeah, no, getting the model. I'm glad I didn't need to re-rig the model. I want to do a full model upgrade, like investing in somebody who, like the guy who, who was it? The person who did like Snuffy and Girl DM's avatar, but that's like a $1,400 skeb. That's a lot of money. Who has submitted the most fan art / art to me? That's actually pretty close. That's closer than you might think. Hold on. Let's see here. No, I believe that's still Tori. I believe Tori holds that the most. Because Tori has, like, you've submitted a lot of amazing fan art and fantastic stuff. Tori also has as well. Like, all the way back in May, Tori added the mermaid Jade. Mermaid Jade. It was really just an underwater theme. It wasn't anything particularly mermaidy, but this is actually the first full body thing that I've that I received. Yeah, you'd think it would be Sapphire, hands down. And like Sapphire has done a lot of phenomenal artwork. But yeah, no, it ends up being Tori. Lock. Okay. What is that? What am I grabbing there? There we go. Yeah, it would have to be. It would pretty much have to be either Sapphire or Tori. Like you two have done the most artwork of me, which every time I get a piece of artwork, I am absolutely floored. Like genuinely, it is some of the best feeling in the world is getting new artwork. This fills me with so much joy. It really does. The first artwork I ever got was from Pine. Was this one? This is the first fan art I ever received. When Moss, who goes by I'm Pine on Twitter, did a piece of fan. I was the first person to actually say hi to them on Twitter, and that was their reaction. That was their reaction was me going hi, and then just sparkles. They've done a few other pieces for me. They did this one as well, but I haven't seen them. They occasionally post about weird lore stuff that looks like it's going super dark, and they occasionally post strange things, and I don't see them actually streaming as often. I've actually seen them stream as often with an actual just webcam setup as I have with their PNG tuber setup. So I don't know what they're doing these days. Weird visual bards. Aww. No, yeah, but yeah, that's some of the first fan art I've ever received. That one, this one, which was done by Nalon, which is just cute. People tend to like drawing me as a cat. Like I have received more fan art of me as a cat. That is strange to me. I don't know. I guess I exhibit that energy. I do meow. This is true. I do meow. What's the worst game that I could not stop playing? Do you mean... Well, I guess I have a question in response. Do you mean what do you mean by could not stop playing? Because if you mean could not stop playing out of obligation, that was Scarlet Nexus. I wanted to stop Scarlet Nexus many times. You guys you can see me fidget a lot more. I actually fidget a lot. It's just the thing I do. Anyways. Scarlet Nexus, I genuinely, 3 episodes in, I was like, I'm not feeling this. I know I spent the $60 or whatever on the game, but I'm just not enjoying it. I was actually talking with Tuzzy the other night, and I felt really guilty after I think it was like the 3rd or so stream, because I was like, oh, I'm not enjoying this, but I'm still playing the role. I'm still, playing it with a smile on my face. I'm still, trying to like project as much happiness and trying to, one of those fake it till you make it sort of things. Like maybe if I just pretend I'm having fun, I'll have more fun sort of things, which, sometimes that does work. I mean, I don't know if I've done anything like that on channel, but I have had, games where it's like, I'm not having as much fun, but yeah, just think about the fun parts of it, and then I end up enjoying it more. I don't think I did any of those on stream per se, though. I'm just sifting through. I guess Resident Evil 6 I didn't enjoy until I enjoyed that because I was hanging out with Yuki, not because of the game. But as I played more of it, I enjoyed it more. I guess I didn't really Ghost 1.0. I at the very beginning was like, whatever. But after I got into it, I enjoyed it more. But Scarlet Nexus, I just couldn't rebound from. I just couldn't get there. And I felt bad because I was trying to put on this good face and saying, oh yeah, no, we're just having a good time. I'm having fun playing this game. How are you guys doing? Not in those words. I wasn't like lying or anything, but it was just kind of like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. And then Tuzzy, said, wow, maybe I should pick this game up. And I'm like, oh, am I actually going to get people to pick up a game that I really am not enjoying because they think, hey, you know what? If it looks good to them, then sure. Okay, sure, fine. Yeah, no, if they're enjoying what they see, maybe they'll buy it and have more fun than I am. Like, that was my genuine response was, okay, well, maybe they'll have more fun with it than I am. Like, yeah. But as far as a game that I didn't, the worst game that I could not stop playing, there's actually a couple other answers to that, some of which might be more interesting than Scarlet Nexus, though I guess you guys have had the most engagement question mark? Ooh. Yeah. I guess you guys have had the most recognition with that one, but games that worst game. Well, if we're talking games that are objectively bad, but I enjoyed anyways, that's more of like a guilty pleasure type game. I would play What would that be for me? I mean, honestly, Final Fantasy XI fits into there. Like, that's a game that I played the heck out of that is genuinely considered not very good. So, like, there is that. That is a thing. But usually if I'm not enjoying a game, I don't force myself to play it. Like, I don't sunk cost myself. I don't say, oh, well, I paid for this, therefore I need to finish it. I usually don't do that. I did it for Scarlet Nexus because it was for the channel, If I'm going to be doing a channel that has a reputation, if I want to build a reputation of being a streamer who plays games that are story-based, it's bad form to stop playing a story-based game after 3 or 4 episodes. Like, that's just bad form. I don't think there's even, like, a question there, That's just an unfavorable thing to do. But yeah, so that was why I definitely sunk cost fallacy into myself on that. It's like, okay, no, I started it, I should push through it. Maybe, and as a game designer, as somebody who has done some game design as well, I enjoy looking at a game and thinking about what I like and dislike about it. Like, what do I enjoy or not enjoy about a game? For you, it's World of Warcraft. That's completely fair. That's understandable. But yeah, I'll play a game and see, like, why don't I like this? What is it about this that I'm not enjoying? And that's a different mentality. That's not necessarily even playing a game anymore. That's analyzing a game, And for that, I would say, probably singing in just as it would. Something like, what's it called? Just Dynasty Warriors? Dynasty Warriors was a game that... Hello, William. Well, Dynasty Warriors was a game that I didn't enjoy, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to keep on playing it so I understand why people like it. It's not for me. I don't enjoy it. I'm going to stick with it and see if I can figure out why people enjoy it. And I did. And honestly, I understand the genre a lot better now, which I feel helps me just as a gamer, as a game designer, as somebody as somebody who touches games. That is something that brought me more understanding. But if you don't do that kind of thing, what are art forms and crafts that you're into that people wouldn't expect me to like? Well, the obvious. So the obvious one is acting. That is my big artistic outlet right now. Me being here, and that's something we could get into if people care. Is most of my acting is just me. Like, this is not like some strange odd character or anything. This is just kind of me. But as far as art forms go, I do model painting. I could probably show off a couple of models that I've painted if I could find. Do I have? I'd probably have to take pictures. Yeah, I don't have any pictures saved. Hello, Lancer guy. But yeah, if you guys wanted, I could show some pictures of models that I have painted. But that was I played War Machine, which is a cool game for cool people. Kind of. It's okay. It's the best tabletop game in my opinion. It's the best tabletop game that I've played. Hey, Small Mate, how you doing? And I like to break the boundaries of how people painted things. Because people paint miniatures in a very, very similar way, right? A lot of people paint miniatures in the same dark colors and earth tones, and very few people paint miniatures bright, vibrant colors. Which makes no sense to me because they're tiny action figures. If you're pretending that it's that your serious Warhammer army is not tiny pewter dolls for boys, then you're deluding yourself. You're just wrong. You're just straight up wrong. It's tiny pewter dolls for boys. It's just what it is. But anyways, so my paint schemes were quite different than normal. My paint schemes set me apart. Like one faction. I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to get some pictures of these in here. One second. I'm going to show you what the faction looks like by design. The faction looks super dark, and I don't mean in color scheme. Like, they have a whole torture aesthetic. It's honestly pretty icky. Here we go. The faction is called Scorn, and it's and like they have these giant war elephants. They have these these sallow-faced zombie-ish dudes. They have a actual torture aesthetic for some of the monsters because the idea is that they prod and push their monsters into combat. It's like, ew, no, I don't want that to be the thing that I'm doing. Actually, that's kind of... But I like how they played. Like, mechanically, I really enjoyed how they played. So I'm like, okay. What can I do? Like, they also have a sort of Arabian theme. So I'm like, okay. What if I took the idea that they're going with... Hold on a second here. And just pivot it into something completely different and wholesome. So my Scorn army is themed off Disney's Aladdin. My Scorn army is using bright colors, shiny reds on some of them. Like, I actually got some models from Reaper Minis to do some conversions, and I made my entire army like very Disney, and it's pretty great, honestly. I'm a big fan of how I did it. I'll put some pictures for that in the Discord. I'd have to take pictures of it right now. But yeah, no, that's one thing I did for artistic stuff. Is one of my artistic outlets was painting miniatures, and not just painting them themselves, like not just painting the models, but figuring out new paint schemes, like figuring out new ways to make the models look more my own. taking a file and scratching off all the scars so that instead of having scars, they have cleaner skins. Scratching off a whole bunch of extra bits so the model had cleaner lines and better, yeah, and looked neater, looked neat, less scraggly. Aside from that, I've never really done painting like that. I've done painting on models, and I've never really done artwork by hand. There's never been a thing for me. There's never really been a thing. And yes, Weaselby, this is just a chat with chat, and answering any questions. Glass blowing and framework is very cool. Glass blowing and framework is something that I very much respect. I've never done it, but I do respect it. I haven't done anything with a forge either. Your friend used to play Necromunda back in the day. My friend painted they look like Star Trek Voyager characters. Same idea, except that except like Zeth says, I'm effectively creating a new faction with the same mechanics by making them visually different. Instead of using somebody else's. But yeah, no, that's the same idea as taking that. Necromunda is very similar to Mordheim, which I played a good amount of, which is sort of where I learned that idea of, taking the miniatures and making them my own, as opposed to just what the game devs originally designed them for. Because yeah, the game devs designed a thing, but I don't care what they designed. I care what I designed. I care what the cool thing that I made. But yeah, that's really that, in programming and game design, of course, have always been my artistic outlets. Let me actually move this so that's centered along that segment. Cool. Also, you guys should totally push that button. Hit button clicky. There we go. Yeah. By the way, I made that click and subscribe. Okay, I didn't completely make it. So, okay, funny story. There was am I into cosplay? Absolutely. Yes. Billion% yes. Okay, so the way I see question not with the subject at hand, can I have a good old yip? And the answer is, honestly, my yip is my laugh. The way I see it, my yip, like I have a. You know what? There's a story I can tell you guys, but yeah. Okay, I can laugh on command. I figure that's my yip. I figure that's me yipping. Honestly, it's that bright chirping laugh. Fun fact. No, that's not very okay. That's the opposite of a fun fact. Sad fact. So sad fact. When I was young, my mom made fun of my laugh, like in a way that was actually pretty hurtful. And I did not, Tuzzy. How dare? In a way that was actually pretty hurtful, and I stopped laughing like that for like a good couple decades. Seriously, that was just a thing that I lost. I lost that part of myself because, as a kid who was easily brought to shame by people, I felt, oh, my laugh must be strange and weird. That must make it bad. So yeah, no, I genuinely stopped laughing. Like I lost my natural laugh and went ha 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 ha, like some other like generic laugh that I thought was more culturally appropriate. It's not honestly until I got back in like the past couple of years that I've both had the self-confidence and recognition of what I lost, and the getting back into VTubing, that my laugh is completely genuine. Like that's not a gimmick or a weird. That genuinely is how I laugh. That's my complete natural laugh. Fun fact: your laugh is the first thing I like. Aw, I appreciate that. I mean, like, yeah, no, that is very much. I mean, I guess hashtag branding, if you want to call it branding, but I guess that is something that is unique to me. I should probably add that into more of my TikToks and just actual laughing. But if you want someone with a phenomenal laugh, go look up Covert Muffin. He has a guffaw, like a genuine hearty guffaw. It's really adorable, actually. Pa po ha ho ha ho. But no, I am into. Oh yeah, that's the other thing with the new tracking is that my blush is now lightly integrated into my smile. I've always actually had a blush emote. I don't actually know how to use it, do it on VTube Studio. I didn't actually set up my emotes yet. So I have my angry worry and my blush emotes sitting on my stream deck. Buttons do nothing. What happens if I hit this button? Nothing. Nothing. I hit the button. I actually did hit the button. I don't know why I hit the button. It didn't do anything. I didn't need to do that. I didn't actually need to hit the button just to prove a point, but I did. So it didn't do anything. So I need to rig those later, or figure out how those. I don't know. I probably need to ask Remake-chan about that. I like genuinely, honestly, don't know how to set that up in VTube Studio. Kathy Hay is a creator on YouTube. Started using a voice after a bad relationship. She's getting it back now. It wasn't like. I don't want to say it wasn't that bad because that's might be shortchanging something. I guess I don't know. But it wasn't. I don't know. It was just. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about myself as having lost something until I grew old enough to realize what was more natural to me. Also, see like gender and sexuality stuff as far as that goes. I didn't realize what I was missing until I grew old enough to understand better what those things were. Anyways, as far as cosplay, yeah. No, I actually am into cosplay. I do love cosplay. Gosh, I could tell you about a whole bunch of... So, I've done anime convention stuff forever. Just, like, absolutely forever. And I could tell you about the cosplays I've done, because I have cosplayed every single year for the... barring this past year for reasons that I can't mention on YouTube, for conventions. Since, what, 2003? I think was one of the first anime cons I went to was Otakon back then. Gosh, yeah, no, that actually sounds right. But yeah, no, I've done my best cosplay probably was Red Mage gear, the Red Mage outfit from Final Fantasy XI specifically. What's my biggest fear for the Minecraft streams and when they are eventually a thing that is happening? My biggest fear for the Minecraft streams is that the person I'm going to be streaming with is not say so. They have both a Twitter account and a Discord and they're just not say so content creators, and I'm not worried that they're going to be unsay so on stream. I think they'll be. I guess the word is professional. I think they'll be professional enough that I don't have that as a worry. I worry that people might see me as less say so by association because they retweet some things that would generally not be associated with my branding and stuff that I just don't necessarily. Yeah, but that's my concern, honestly. Like just being real talk with you, that is a concern. I think honestly, Minecraft streams are going to be great because it's going to be me and somebody else who has almost no Minecraft experience, just being absolute terrible at the game. Just walking around Minecraft being the worst at video games. It's going to be hilarious. If nothing else, it's just going to be us being terrible at Minecraft. Well, chat just yells at us. It's going to be pretty funny, I think. Let me actually see if I can modify this. If I do that, it goes red. And wait. Okay, that's too much. I'm just doing some looking at a thing right now. Don't worry about me. There we go. That increases the effect of the lighting a bit more. Okay. And yes, there is someone I found to collab with me. The hardest part was actually just finding someone to collab with, finding somebody who has not played Minecraft. Like, that's a hard thing to find someone for, apparently. Like, apparently everybody's played Minecraft. I know Minecraft from cultural assimilation. Like, I know... Really, the thing you're looking at is shining light. Yeah, that too. Yeah, I know Minecraft from, like, a cultural thing. Like, I know how to make a crafting block and a pickaxe just because I've seen enough memes to understand that, you know? Like, just purely because I've been alive long enough. There we go. Okay, that's better lighting. Yes, that looks a lot better lighting. Do you see that lighting? It is like finding a needle. Oh, I like that lighting now. Pa 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 pa. Okay, good. I fixed my lighting. Yay, I fixed my lighting live on youtube.com. But yeah, I've cosplayed as, yeah. Oh, what's that? Oh, beans, I can't even remember the name of that anime. I know the costume. Yeah. I've cosplayed it as, one of my most popular ones is Dan from Street Fighter, because I actually got a real gi. Like, not just like, you know, the kind you get at a local martial arts store. I actually got a real cotton gi that cost way too much money, frankly. And because it was woven cotton all the way through, when I tore off the arms, the extra cotton at the ends flared out like they do in Street Fighter games, in the games that are in the video games. So that costume looks phenomenal, and I just dyed the whole thing. Got a white gi, cut it off so that it frayed out perfectly. Dyed the whole thing pink, and it's just like, it's not a complicated. It's one of my less complicated cosplays. It's, you know, and that's basically the entire thing I did. It's not like my Haru cosplay where I had to custom build like custom sew every single piece. But yeah, the cosplay for Dan from Street Fighter is still one of my most popular, and it's held up the best too, because like I said, it was actually a really, really nice gi. Like, it's actually just a really nice quality one. But yeah, those are two of them that I've done. My next one that I want to do is I want to do the Deviljho armor from Monster Hunter, including the face mask, because that is a very cool outfit, and I want to integrate the mask into the cosplay. Because I think that would look really nice. Because let's be honest, I'm going to be wearing a mask for every convention I go to for the foreseeable future, forever. Are you ever going to play something that has units that you can name after people in chat? Yes. I'm definitely going to play XCOM at some point, and that's the easiest one to do that with. And I have every intention of doing that. I could also do that with monkey game, Balloons Tower Defense lets you do that as well. If you set things up correctly, you can name each of your first towers that comes out. I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head where that would work. I guess we could do that with Civ. Oh yeah, actually I can't announce that yet. Never mind, don't worry about it. Hi. Anyways, but yes, no, that is a thing that I do want to do. And the problem with other chat-based games, there's a lot of games that have chat integrations, right? There's a lot of games that have chat integrations, but those chat integrations only are coded for Twitch. I like YouTube. Like, I know, okay. How real talk do you guys want me to be? How real talk do you guys want me to be right now? Because this is up to you guys. I don't know if you guys want me talking about things. I'll leave that up to you. Anyways, I'll switch topics until some people respond. I have a little bit of a delay. Not too much. I think I have it set to about a 10-second delay, I think. Which is a lot for some things, but not a lot in general. Yeah. Fully real? Oh gosh, fully real. You want the real talk? Okay. I could be making money on Twitch. I know this. I could 100% be making money on Twitch. If I were on Twitch, I would have more viewership live and less VODs. I mean, like I said before, no one has ever actually watched a Twitch VOD. If you've ever watched a Twitch VOD, I hate to tell you this, but no, you haven't. But I could, be getting probably double or triple my concurrent viewer count if I were on Twitch. But on YouTube, I get residuals. I get, like, my average for the past 30 days is something like 60 views per stream. Including if you factor in everything live. I got 100 views on the VR chat thing, and that's not just people clicking and clicking away. But I like YouTube as a platform because that's what I use. That's what I use myself. I use YouTube as a platform mostly. I only watch Twitch. I only click onto Twitch if I'm watching one of my friends' streams, or I'm watching someone big because I want to research them. I'll watch someone said that my streaming style is similar to Sykkuno. That's a fun sentence to say. My streaming style is similar to Sykkuno. A lot of S's. Very fun. Anyway. Sorry. But someone compared me to Sykkuno, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I watched some of Sykkuno's streams, and like, oh yeah, no, I can kind of, if I squint, see some similarities in presentation style, and like maybe I should learn more about them. But I could have monetized 3 times over on Twitch. Alliterative, yes. I am almost halfway to monetizing on YouTube. I am at 472 subscribers right now, out of 1,000. Twitch requires 50. 50 subscribers, and you can start signing up for affiliate. Twitch requires you to have average like 3 concurrent viewers to get affiliate. I have 9 people watching this right now, and this is not even a game stream. Like, this is not even a major stream. And then that's not even counting when I was getting 30 plus for the Game Jam stuff. So, like, I could have monetized multiple times over on Twitch, but I want to be on YouTube. Because, A, in the long haul, it'll be worth it, like Tussie says. In the long haul, YouTube residuals, like someone finding me and saying, oh, hey, they played, oh, hey, they played, Horizon Zero Dawn 6 months ago, because I'm talking 6 months in the future or something. I'll go watch that. Partially because, again, that's how I watch stuff. Like, when I'm watching VTubers, I'm watching VODs. Actually, I could talk about what streamers I watch. That could be in channels I watch, or, for Let's Play content. That could be an interesting discussion point if you guys care. So, even though right now, my only money from streaming is from donations, I know people who are half my size who are getting, $40 a week in Twitch subscriptions. That's fine. In the long term, I'm going to be happier on YouTube, unless I get into VShojo or something. I did do an application there, in case anyone is curious. I actually did apply to VShojo. I didn't hear back from them. I didn't hear back from Niji Sanji either, and Hololive I didn't hear back from either. So I am actually reaching out to these things. What do I watch for fun? So my favorite channel is Playframe, bar none. And honestly, real talk, if you guys find the channel Playframe, you'll see a lot of where my style of my, just my presentation style comes from, because that's one of the things that's influenced me to become a streamer. Playframe is a Pixar animator, literally an ex-Pixar animator, who did educational content for a while on YouTube. Actually, they did on The Escapist of all hacking places, because that place existed, and then they didn't pay people, so they left The Escapist. And anyways, now they do a channel about animation design, and they do a Let's Play channel. And their Let's Play channel is great because even though he's just a good, wholesome person talking about the games and enjoying the games they're playing, he also talks about things that he is an expert in. Like, he'll talk about things that he knows, like that he just genuinely knows about. One sec. There we go. There's things that he knows about from and he talks about it from a place of expertise. He talks about it from a place. Yeah, Yahtzee carried the Escapist, that's for heckin' sure. He talks about it from a place of expertise. So when he's talking about animations, he's talking about it from as somebody who's in the industry and knows the things, and that really is an interesting perspective to see on the video games. And I kind of want to do that with game design. Like, I do game design. I can actually see the viewers who left to go check out that channel. You know what? That's fair. I understand. That's kind of what I want to be for as well. Like I want to be that, but VTuber, they don't actually have any live cameras. And talking about the game design and that part of the process, because that's what I know. I mean, I talk about things. As far as the Escapist goes, yeah, no, Yahtzee carried the Escapist hard. That company was not doing well for a very long time. Multiple taps. You know what? A lot of people watch me on their cell phone. I actually was surprised when I learned that, but a lot of people are watching me from their cell phones. Let's move chat up a bit. Yeah, but above the waterfall. That's a good place for chat. Probably. I don't know. Where do you want to be, chat? But no, Escapist didn't pay creatives. Escapist actually just genuinely did not pay their creatives, and that was a huge problem. And yeah, no, they just weren't getting. People were not getting paychecks for videos that they made that were playing on Escapist on a website, and they always pay. They always covered Yahtzee. I actually know somebody who, dated Yahtzee. Well, that's not a story I can tell. But who as an insider in that side of things, and they, Escapist was having some trouble keeping the lights on at one point, and they weren't paying their creatives, and their creatives were leaving because they weren't getting paid. Because guess what? Hey, if you get told we'll pay you X amount of money per video, and then you don't get paid that amount of money per video, you have a problem. Like, especially when those creatives are themselves trying to maintain a studio with 4 to 8 people on a payroll. How can I say that and not talk about it like this? Anyways. No, just genuinely, that's not my story to tell. I probably shouldn't even mention that, but that's not my story to tell. I think they wrote an article like and sent it into like Kotaku or something, like tell all sort of jam. I don't know. It's been a while since I don't know. Anyways, I like this because I don't have a team. I'm myself. The moment that I make enough that I can afford a team, I actually will get one. Like, genuinely. If I start making enough that I can pay somebody to make edited videos for me, I will do that. Like, $50 per video is reasonable for hiring an editor, I've heard. For hiring someone, out of college to get them a resume. I mean, not like, professional. I'm always going to want $50 an hour. I get that. I respect it. But someone who's looking to do it for resume work will work for $50 a video, which I would probably work for myself, honestly, just for some spare money because I enjoy video editing. Video editing is fun to me. I enjoy video editing. If you haven't seen my Zenogre video, my Monster Hunter Zenogre, how not to fight Zenogre, that's actually one of my proudest videos. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And part of me wants to make all of my content like that. But going live has benefits too. And I simply don't have time to do both. So when I have enough followers following me on both YouTube to get me monetized and supporting me at $1 on the monthly subscription plan at ko-fi.com/Jade the Kobold. Okay, sorry. Then I will absolutely, if $50 per one video, if I'm making $50 for a video, I will pay $50 per video. I will break even at the start to get somebody to edit videos for me, and then do live and then do uploads as well. I make all my TikToks. I mean, that's something I edit myself. I know a lot of people found me from TikTok, and I mean, gosh, I'm actually there. Hold on. I gotta check something. Almost. I have 2,938 followers on TikTok. I have almost 3 kilo followers on TikTok. I'm very close to 3 kilo followers there. If all of them signed up for my YouTube, I'd be monetized overnight. Like, geez. But they don't, so whatever. Someday. I am growing. There is growth. I am growing. I am getting bigger and happier. I mean, I don't tie my happiness to my sub count, but I enjoy streaming enough, and streaming brings me so much happiness that those two things are not completely independent. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not tying my self-worth to a number. But at the same time, the number does make me feel better. I made a joke last week on the Discord channel, which is just a comfy place to be. I think, honestly, most of you guys are on the Discord channel. Honestly, that's if I could change one metric, like, I'll talk about that later. I made a joke on the Discord channel that if there's ever a time when nobody's thinking about me, then I'll cease to exist. It's like, there's a thread of truth to that, you know? Like, I do this because people watch me. The bigger audience I have, the better content I produce. Like, seriously, go check out, like, some of my bigger streams, like the Sniper Elite stream or the Go Godot Game Jam streams. The bigger streams are the ones where I feel like I'm doing a better job. Just in general, I feel like I'm just doing a better job, you know, making content when I have a bigger audience. The biggest audience I've ever performed in front of live was tens of thousands of people, was about 35,000 people. And I'll tell you right now, that was an amazing performance. It was good. but it was a different situation. That's not a situation that's part of my life right now. Yeah, that was music. I don't do much music anymore. Oh, what was I just saying? I was going to talk about... I forget. Oh yeah, so Playframe is one channel that I watch. I watch Savitz and Brian Kibler, even though I don't play any of the games that they play. Even though I don't play those games at all and haven't for many, many years, Kibler is the same kind of streamer who talks from a place of expertise. Streamer who is themselves a game designer and not only plays the game, but talks about the game from a design standpoint as they play it. He's stuck in a rut, though. I mean, he chose the rut. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not like it's a bad thing. But he stuck himself into a rut where he only plays one game. I refuse to do that. I will not do that. I straight up refuse to play one game exclusively. And I know I would grow. I know if I just, you know, shoved my nose into Fortnite. I'm not going to play Fortnite. I know if I shoved my nose into Dota, that's actually more real chance fee, you know, that I would get more viewers because I would be specializing. A specialist is going to get more viewers than a generalist. If I played nothing but 4X strategy games and just did, you know, Civ 6 and Alpha Centauri and all that, I would get more people watching because, well, that's, you know, that's specializing. Even if I did something as you know, as only doing children's programming, which I'm not going to. I did that for Wandersong, and it was pretty fun, actually. And I have done children's theater in the past. But then I would, you know, I know, but I want a diversity. I want to be able to go from Chicory to XCOM. I want to, pardon, water. I want to be able to go from Chicory to XCOM to Owlboy to Bloodborne. Like, I want to be able to have that range, you know? Even though I know it is hurting me. Even though I know it's actually hurting me in terms of growth, that also means that the people who stay are genuinely the people who like me. Like, you're not staying because you like Scarlet Nexus. You're not, if you play Fortnite, fair, that's fair. I'm not, yeah. If you're not watching me because I'm playing Prey, people are finding me because I'm playing Prey, but they're not watching me because I'm a Prey player, you know, they're watching, or a horror game player. They're watching me because I'm me, you know. So like, my audience is super, super amazing. Like, you guys are amazing, and, you know, frankly loyal. Like, you know, there is a type of loyalty in that kind of audience, which I really genuinely deeply appreciate. Seriously. But yeah, by staying generalist, I know I'm not going to grow as quickly, which is tragic. But I'll be happier, and that's also better, because if I'm skipping around, then I'm going to be having more fun. Because I play a wide diversity of games. I play a massive diversity of games. You guys are gonna, like, seriously, even just right now, You have everything from Bloodborne and Bloodstained to Scarlet Nexus to meme reviews to A Hat in Time to Chicory. Then I did a voice acting stream with Sunless Sea, and then like I've just been all over the place, and I don't know even if I should be, and that's the hard part. Like, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. Hashtag branding and stuff. I like raininess. I don't like... Okay, my favorite overall type of weather is when it's overcast enough that there's a light drizzle, but gentle enough that you can still see some of the sun peeking through. So like, you know, when there's a cloudy day with just a little bit of sun, that is a delight. I like that a lot. I do have phenomenal dark vision. Like, that's not a kobold thing. That's just genuinely I can see really well in the dark, and I am a little bit photosensitive to bright light, so I'm wearing sunglasses all the time, forever outside. I'm okay with that. I look good in them, frankly. But I mean, I need sunglasses to art, don't I? Oh heck, I need sunglasses on stream. Oh yeah, now that I'm using VTube Studio, I can add props. I can get props that I can add a pin to my character. I might need to make that a thing. But yeah. I also like it when it's... I mean, for me, I always want it to be warm enough to ride a motorcycle, but... Yeah, but I still like... I like seasons. I like the snow. I do like having snow around, but I liked it... I don't know, I guess my ideal temperature is probably going to be something like 15 degrees, but still having a 6-foot base of snow on the ground. That can happen around where I am. You know, what is that? I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit. But yeah, 15 degrees, but actually having a 6-foot snow base and going skiing. I've been skiing in shorts and a t-shirt. I have been skiing multiple times in shorts and a t-shirt. It's a delight. It's fantastic. If you ever have the opportunity to do it, do it. It's phenomenal. It's actually not as cold as you think it is because you're working out. You are exercising. So, yeah, it's just don't eat snow. Just like don't eat it and you know, fall down. You will get... That'll be less pleasant. Have I ever thought about doing reactions of the bigger YouTubers? I've not really thought about it, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, I haven't really thought about it. I don't see... I would rather mimic them and become them than react to them. I'm not really a reaction channel. You know, I mean, you could argue that what I'm doing is reacting to video games. You could argue that the improv work that I'm doing with relation to video games is reaction stuff, but it's not. I mean, we both know that's different. Watching somebody else's video and reacting to it seems crass. It seems lower level. It seems like not the kind of thing I want to do. I'd rather emulate them, frankly. Like, I would rather become them. I would rather become... Oh, yeah. I never finished the list of people who I watch. I'm just gonna... I guess, you know, that's just being peppered in throughout the video, apparently. I do watch AlphaRad. I think AlphaRad is a phenomenal creator. Not exactly my style of, you know, that I am in when I do stuff, but something that I very much enjoy watching. So yeah, AlphaRad is a content creator who I enjoy watching for the exact opposite reasons that I enjoy watching, like, Killer and Playframe. Anyone else who I particularly watch? I mean, I'll put on other VTuber streams if I'm either supporting them, like I'll put on, you know, Tori or Rumi or, you know, my other friends' streams. Just, you know, and other VTubers though, I like Ina. I like Ina's style. And I like Pomu Rainpuff. I enjoy. But I treat them the way I assume people treat me, which is not actually correct. Like, okay, the way I treat them is if they're playing a game that I enjoy, I will watch them play the game on VODs. Like, I'll watch the YouTube videos, like, you know, after they've played it, and have fun with that. And just watch it over the course of, like, a couple weeks. That's how I watched Pomo play Zelda 2. I don't necessarily care about live as much when I'm watching. And I like people I like people watching me live, and I trust me, my eyes are pinned to my concurrent viewer stat all the time. Like I'm constantly, watching how many concurrent viewers I have. I think that is an very important metric. But when I'm watching stuff, I don't generally watch people who are live. I don't know. But I also make live content, so I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I'm just weird. I have no idea. I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't know about what's going on with that. Like I don't watch people. I don't. Oh, I don't make content the way that I watch people. But that's not entirely true because I absolutely do. Because I do make try to make the type of content that I enjoy watching, but I don't. I end up focusing more on live than the people that I tend to follow. I don't know. That's actually an interesting thing. I'll have to meditate on that. I will have to actually do a brain think upon that. What is my favorite chat instigated moment? People talking actually about psychiatrists, like people actually not like their own therapists or anything, but people actually talking about Freud and Jung and Sartre and getting into philosophical discussions in my chat, that happened during the last tree. That was a cool moment. I was really small then. I think I only had like 2 or 3 people in chat, but actually having conversations about like Carl Jung going on was nice. Because like I don't know. I guess I think of myself as highbrow. I don't know if I am or not. I'm probably not, but maybe. I don't know. But that was a fun moment. Okay, I guess everybody who's actually in the Discord is probably going to call me out as being highbrow because I show up a whole bunch of posh stuff in my in the community nights. Oh, by the way, we are going to be adding a role in the Discord channel for community nights. So when we're watching like QI or infrastructure videos or philosophy videos, or recently Sonic Boom as a more relaxing thing, a little bit less. What's the word I'm looking for? A little bit less thinky. Then yeah, well you can be pinged when that happens. Favorite soup. So with my diet, soup is a dangerous prospect, shall we say, because it's really hard to tell how many carbs are in a soup. Like, what's in a broccoli and cheddar soup? Broccoli? Okay, that doesn't have any real appreciable carbs, not really, and all the carbs in broccoli are just fibers. Okay, cool. How many carbs in cheddar? None. Just none. Just absolutely none. How many carbs in broccoli cheddar soup? Like 40 per serving. That's an entire day's worth for me. Like, I can't have that in one meal. That I will feel ill. It's just like as a carnivore, I just can't. So for soup, for me, it really is a matter of what's going to have low enough carbs for me to work. Some keto specific tomato soups are good. I love making grilled cheese with keto bread, and grilled cheese and tomato soup is tasty. And I make broth. I do make broth, just bouillon cube, water, and bone broth heated up in a kettle. That's just done. Broth. That's delicious. And then I'll have that with something. Actually, I'm probably going to make some of that after stream. That sounds amazing. I really want that now. Okay, no, I know what I'm getting for dinner. Oh yeah, I have a thing where I don't eat. I'm gonna have to figure that out for the game jam. I have a thing where I don't eat an hour before a stream, which is an old acting thing that I picked up. Is don't eat anything an hour before you go on stage. So that's the thing. Oh, water. So much good waters. Part of making a cheese sauce is making a roux, which has flour, and yep, and you can use almond flour to make it carnivore friendly. You can, like, there are other ways of doing it, but nobody does it in the pre-packaged ones, unless you're paying like $1 billion per package. You looking forward to the game jam? Big, me too. The game jam is going to be a big growth moment for me. For me, that's a very important, growth moment, because that's something that I love, something that I'm proud of, and something that's going to get a lot of eyes. And that's going to be very important for me. It's also a lot of fun. I'm also going to be doing multiple collabs with Cheeseness, again, who is just a delight. I love working with Cheeseness. Honestly, have I had more collabs with Cheeseness than anyone else? I don't think that's true. I think I'm still the most with Yuki. Which is funny because Yuki hasn't actually messaged me in a hot minute. Yuki's weird. I like Yuki, but they're an interesting person. So the first time I collabed with Yuki, Yuki Hatsu, just to clarify. The first time I collabed with Yuki, I was... It went well. I thought it went fantastic. I had a delightful time, and they were like, "Hey, same time next week," because we were playing a story-based game. We played Resident Evil together, and they were like, "Yeah, sure." It was great, cool. And then radio silence. Yuki never actually messaged me in that entire week, and I was worried. Like, I was the smaller creator. I was worried, like, oh no, did I do something wrong? Or is something bad? Like, are they angry at me? Oh no. And then, right when I was about to change my stream title for the next session, like half an hour before we were going live, Yuki just messages me on Discord and says, "All right, let's rock." And then we had a great time, and it was fantastic. And apparently, Yuki is just the kind of person who, if they don't message you, it's not something to be concerned about. They're the kind of person where if they don't send you a message, that it doesn't mean they don't like you, or it doesn't mean they're not thinking about you. It just means that they're not. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that they didn't have anything important to say. But at that time, I was so nervous. I was like, "Did I do something wrong? Do they hate me? Do they hate me forever?" Which is no. I do wish we ended on a better note, because the last episode of Resident Evil 6, they were definitely not feeling it. I know they had some other things going on, and the game was not treating them very well. So I know that they did not have a great time at the end, and I haven't really talked to them a whole lot since, which is sad. I really enjoyed working with them. They were a delight. But yeah, no, Cheeseness as a game designer is also fantastic. Completely different streams. When I'm with Cheeseness, it's talking about game development, is supposed to, getting scared together at spooky games. But he's fantastic to work with. Yuki's fantastic to work with too, just for different reasons. You know what I mean? Yeah, cool person. Both of them are cool people. Everyone I've collabed with, I've only had one collab experience that was suboptimal. I've only had one collab experience that went more on the poorly side. Everything else? No, take it back. There's two. There's absolutely two. Is that one even on my channel anymore? No, I took that one off of the channel. Okay, there's only one that's on the channel. There's two collabs that went south. 15% means 80%, 85% anecdotes. Yeah, no, Cheesiness was great with that. Like, I was expecting that to go so much faster. Your mouse stopped working, so you couldn't chat. Oh no, tragic. Let's see. The first one was actually Phasmophobia. I do not like that game. I don't like it. Hot take. I don't like Phasmophobia. Hot take. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. I've been invited to multiple collabs for that. I've declined every single one of them after the first. Okay, so here's a story for y'all. First time playing Phasmophobia. Okay. I'm thinking. I think about video games. this might surprise you. This might be shocking news to anybody watching, that I think about video games. So we have to find out what kind of ghost it is, and we have to find out information about the ghost. And they are telling me, "Hey, don't worry about it. We'll just kind of go in and follow us around. Well, like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever." So I'm analyzing what's going on from a very thinky perspective. So I'm looking at this going, okay, what do we have here? We have a house outside. It's built in a rural area. There's 2 pickup trucks, one of which looks like it is on blocks, and a power line on a dirt road. So there's a dirt road. Okay, interesting. The architecture of the house looks very 1970s. So that might help us figure out what kind of ghost this is. It's not a house that existed before then. But then we go into the house, and I'm like, oh, this house has World War I pictures on the wall. World War I and World War pictures on the wall. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so this might be a World War I vet who's coming back to haunted through their PTSD through the war. Maybe something of that nature. There's a master bedroom, and there is a guest room, but the guest room has pictures of the this person in World War I regalia, not the master bedroom, which means to me that the family that owned the house was not the veteran. The veteran lived in the guest room. If the veteran lived and died in the guest room, then, what did that tell us about what kind of ghost it was? Turns out in Phasmophobia, you just throw sensors at the wall until one of them bings, and then you make a note and go back to the bus. That's it. I was trying to do like a whole thing. I was trying to actually play a game. I was trying to play a game that was making me think and making me actually think about architecture and infrastructure and like all these really cool things that I genuinely do know stuff about. Like, oh my gosh. The kitchen has an open floor design, but that wasn't popular until like the late 90s, early aughts, and the rest of the architecture of the house is from the 1970s. So the 1970s house had some stuff rebuilt in it. When did they start reporting hauntings? Was that related to the time it was rebuilt? Was something disturbed? Maybe they added an addition. The green room, there's a room over there that looks like it might not actually have been an original part of the house. And there's one car in the garage, and there's 2 cars outside, which means that there's it was all useless. It was all worthless, and I felt bad because it was useless. It felt bad because I was so excited. It felt bad because I was so excited for that to be the game. That's what hurt. That's why I don't like Phasmophobia. And that's why that was the worst collab. Because after I realized that everything that I did a brain think of was useless, I lost any desire to play the game. It's true. It's very true. It's true. So that was a collab, and I mean, I love the people who I did it with. Like the people who I did it with. Like, I think I was with, who was I with? I was with Neelon. I was with Blue Beans. Blue. Blue Wolves. I was with Blue Wolves. I was with Happy Dog, and yeah, that was the team. Blue Wolves, Happy Dog, and Neelan. All of which were great people. All of which were cool people. The wind went entirely out of my sails after I found out that's what the game was. Honestly. What is my favorite channel meme to come from the last game jam? How many channel memes did we actually have last game then? I mean, Helvetica Rounded was the big one. That was the big meme from the jam. Probably that was my favorite as well. Yeah, I'd say Helvetica Rounded, because I just got super angry about that one the entire time. Oh no, that was me noise. You can't see my lips doing that. That was just me going with my lips. Let me see here. I'm actually going to swap these two. There we go. There we go. Okay, what's going on? That was the wind going out of your set. Yeah, exactly. That was me deflating. Actually, I think it would be the better way of phrasing it. That was me deflating when I realized that everything that... Now, yeah, no, that's actually the best way of phrasing it. That was me deflating when everything that I liked about the game ended up being wrong. That's actually the way I should phrase it. That was me when everything that I enjoyed about the game was explicitly incorrect, explicitly wrong, and not what the game was. Favorite rock is probably like for what, I guess I would say. I mean, favorite rock for what? Because that's a really broad question. If you're talking just prettiness, bismuth. Bismuth is beautiful. I'm going to pull up a picture of bismuth, so you can all see how pretty it is. There we go. Bismuth. Look at that rock. Look at that pretty rock. It forms like that naturally, and it looks like that all over. The entire rock just does that. It's a completely natural formation. All bismuth does it. It's always the same kind of rainbow. So if you buy a piece of bismuth, it will... Sec. Like, it just does that. And it's also a base element. Like, it's not even just a... yeah, it's not even like a composite rock. It actually is a you know, bismuth is an element, is it not? Yeah, chemical element 83. Good old, yeah, atomic number 83. It's just a straight up pure element, like gold or silver, which I think is awesome. So yeah, no, I think bismuth is the prettiest rock. Yeah, agates are cute, but bismuth is like all agate. Well, I don't know MechWarrior Online, but yeah, I could see that. There's a couple other things that could be that share a similar... I don't know what you're talking about, so I shouldn't make any assumptions. Gosh, I remember when someone... I remember when I was just going through my vocalizations going... Which... just as vocalizations and accurate vocal warm-ups that I do. Just harapapa. And someone asked me... Actually, I think this was all the way back when I was on Twitch. Somebody asked me what I was saying in Italian. They thought I was actually talking in Italian. I'm like, what? What? no, I don't speak Italian at all. So the joke ended up being that this is draconic, like harapapandarato. Like these vocalizations that I do is draconic speech. But the honest answer is that it's just vocal warm-ups that I do. Yeah, that's all. But that moment stuck with me. That moment I'm always going to remember. Harapatandarato. I guess sort of the inflection. That's probably what it was. It was the inflection of what I was saying. Like, paratataroto. Sounded, the inflection sounded right to them. Which, sure, I mean, I get it. I guess. Why not? Oh, hello, Luke. How are you doing this wonderful day? Why Italian? Because Mario? I think it was the inflection, because different languages have different sounds. Like, yeah, different languages just have, different sounds. There's an old video, I'm sure I could find it though, about what English sounds like. And thank you so much for the sub. I do genuinely appreciate that. Oh, let me push the button, push the button, push the button. I pushed the button. There's an old video. Oh, that's why I had that lower, so this didn't overlap. There we go. There's an old video about how languages sound to people who don't speak that language, where they basically spoke gibberish, or Simlish rather. They spoke Simlish in the cadence and accent of somebody speaking that language. And the one for English is fascinating because you can tell it's English. You can tell that they're speaking the way they're intoning, the way that their cadence is, the way that their inflection is, the way that they're discussing things. It's obviously English. It's just gibberish though, and it's like fascinating. Like, oh, that's what we sound like to people who don't understand our language. And I think that's really cool. It kind of is eye-opening too. Is like, what do I sound like to people who don't? Because normally you can never learn that. Like, you can never actually learn what you sound like to somebody who speaks your language, because, well, you speak your language and it's so innately ingrained. Aww. It's so innately ingrained into who you are, the linguistics side of it, that it can be difficult to realize what is, what other cultures and what other peoples see you as. And that's true for a wide variety of things too. That's like true for a whole bunch of different aspects. Like who you are and who you are is hard enough to figure out on your own, right? Like who you are is like an entire thing of trying to, understanding who you are as a person. It can take you decades to figure that out. But figuring out who you are and how you present to people who you've never met is like next level trying to self-actualize. But yeah, no, this is for anyone who's showed up, because it looks like a few people have showed up. This is just a Q&A and chat stream. Usually I stream games. Usually they're narrative games. The format is always that I stream one game on Monday and Friday, and I stream a different game on Wednesday and Saturday, with Thursday as a wild card. So right now, Monday, Friday is in the process of switching, actually. But right now, Monday and Friday... Pardon me. Heck, what are we doing? Oh yeah, Metroid Dread is starting this Friday. That's what we're doing. Metroid Dread starts tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. I literally just bought it like 20 minutes, an hour and 2 hours ago. No, yeah. So Metroid Dread is starting on Friday. Will be the Monday-Friday slot, and Prey is the Wednesday-Saturday slot, and then beyond that, next month is going to be the Game Jam, and then I have 2 more collabs in the works. But next week is also going to be a meme review, and it's going to be the Kobold meme review, which is going to be a big one. Like, it's going to be the first official collab with me and Luna. Me and Luna have collabed before. We've had unofficial collabs. We've gotten together many times, and we're good friends. I would say Luna is I would say is a cool friend. I think of them as a friend, and but we haven't actually done collabs. And one reason for that is actually pretty selfish on my part, if I'm being honest. If I'm being perfectly honest, the reason I haven't collabed sooner with Luna is that her mic was bad. Like, really, really bad. Her, and if you follow Luna and you watch her streams, you know this. Like, you know that the change in mic quality in the past couple weeks has been phenomenal. It's been incredible. And she's a better streamer because of it. Her streams are more easy to watch, but her mic quality was bad to the point where I had, it cut into my enjoyment of watching her streams. Which I kind of feel guilty about. But that's not a superficial thing, is it? Like, yeah, Lunabold, your local kobold. They stream on Twitch now. Yeah, cool person. So, yeah. And I feel like on one hand that was a really superficial and petty thing. Like, things like, I would like to collab with you after you get a new mic. On the other hand, the quality of the stream is important too, and I wanted to make sure that the stream was going to be as good as possible when we got together. So the only other collab we had officially was the VR chat where she stayed with me after my date wandered away. Yep. VR prom. My prom date wandered away. My prom date wandered away and spent the night talking with other people.
Again.
No, no, that's not a story I'm going to tell. Anyways. Where were we? The place looking forward to visiting. Yes. No, that's the question we're answering now. We're on this topic. Yeah. I would like to forward. I haven't visited most places in Europe. Honestly, I want to visit Amsterdam. I honestly have half a mind to move there. I want to visit the Norway, Sweden, Finland, that area. I think it's gorgeous. Like, I think Amsterdam has the best city design and infrastructure that I've ever seen. And I think that just locationally, Norway and Finland have the most beautiful locations that I've ever seen. And I haven't visited either of them. I want to go to Japan. I wanted to go to Japan while Hatsumi was still Soke of Bujinkan, but Hatsumi retired. Well, not soft retired. He stopped officially doing classes and passed Sokeship on to other people. I was hoping to get there in time to get my 5th degree black belt, which is traditionally has to be done in Japan. Now, my trainer, my teacher, my sensei here is actually a 15th degree, is max rank. My trainer here is max rank. So I could get my that belt test in locally, and he would vouch for it in Japan, which is a big deal because that's like not a thing that you can that most people who train can get. Like, that's not a thing that usually happens. And that's the that's the metaphysics test too. I could talk about that test later, but yeah. So I do want to go to Japan. I would love to get my 5th degree black belt tested in Japan. I was going to do that a couple of years ago, but not karate, Bujinkan, Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu. That's the art that I train in. It's I'll talk about that a lot when I play Ghost of Tsushima, which is high up on the list of games that I'm going to play. But yeah, it's a combat art. It's not a sparring art, so you don't have sparring matches of it like you have for karate or jujitsu or MMA. It's a combat art. It teaches you how to deal with somebody who's bigger, stronger, and faster than you who has a knife. It doesn't help you if you're in a caged match with somebody and you're not allowed to you do certain moves, because the art is more lethal than most karate style things. I like the art. It's fantastic art. I've trained with it for a long time. So I do want to visit Japan. I want to visit New Zealand. I mean, if I'm going down to New Zealand, I'll probably stop by and visit Ripley and Cheeseness. But yeah, and I want to climb Mount Celeste. Like, I haven't actually climbed Mount Celeste. I know where it is. Like, I could, go there, but. My daily routine. I wake up, shuffle over to a computer, watch usually Brian Kibler and Alpharad videos to wake up for half an hour or so, or whatever. Do work things. I'm not going to get into that too much, but I do computer adjacent work, and then come back and announce my stream, and then just do either do what needs to be done, whether that's shopping or more work or going for a walk with Tara or just sitting and petting Goliath and vegging, or just like that's whatever happens to be the needs for that day, whether those needs are petting a cat or meeting a deadline. After that, I usually try to get some editing done if I can. I usually don't. I don't do that often at all. I really, really don't. I should do more of it. I enjoy it. Like, I do genuinely enjoy editing. I just don't do as much enough. I just don't do as much of it as I would like to think that I do, I guess is how I would phrase it. Then I usually have to drive around and pick people up for various things and just help out community stuff. And my family is my grandma is in pushing triple digits, so that's fun and helping out there. Then half an hour before a stream, I come here, do vocal warm-ups, sort of meditate, and prepare for the stream. That's the broad strokes. That's the broad strokes answer. I usually eat at around 1 or so, and another meal after stream. So I'll have another meal after stream, and that's it. That's all I eat. I usually have 2 meals a day. Yeah. And again, carnivore. I don't have meals that are that have carbs in them, which changes the way that you interact with food. Like, I don't feel hunger the same way that most people do. I just don't experience hunger. I genuinely don't. I eat because I know that I should eat, and I eat and I have some MCT oil when I know that I need some more energy, in my day. But I don't, like, quote unquote, need food. Yeah, in ketosis, you just don't get as hungry as much. That's true. So, yeah. And the foods you eat are very calorie dense. Hello, Godwoken. The foods you do eat on that diet are very and I usually don't say this on stream, but I mean, you guys know this. I've been on the keto diet for years. When I say I'm a carnivore, that's what I mean. Like that's the bit. That's me saying I'm a carnivore. That's the gimmick. Like I don't know if that's like that's just the gimmick. That's just me. That's just what I do. So I decided that would be a good character point because it's true. Like, it's just genuinely true. It's just real. Like, I just don't eat carbs. So I decided, you know what? Kobold, carnivore, sure, go with it. Let's make this happen. Easy. Hoy. But yeah. I like this new tracking. So in my old tracking, if I look towards chat here like this, my face frowns because it doesn't track well. My new tracking is good. It brings me goodness happy. And I should use it forever, so I think it was worth the investment. But it would be even more worth the investment if people donated. Okay, I hate begging for money, and I hate begging for subs, but there is a link down there. Just saying. Favorite fandoms. Oh. Am I using a headset? I'll answer that one first because that's a fun answer. I use a Velco headset. Velco.io is a Finnish company, and it's pretty reasonable for the quality. Like, the quality is incredible. This headset is quality comparable to, like, something that costs $400, and yet it only costs, like, $200 shipped. It's Bluetooth 5, and it has best in grade noise canceling. It's just incredible. This headset is phenomenal. I would recommend it to anybody. As far as favorite, I don't know. Favorite fandoms is one I want to stick with it for to a later thing. Most fandoms are bad, right? Like, real talk. Most fandoms are kind of rotten. Like, the difference between enjoying something and becoming a part of the quote-unquote fandom are, whew, that's yeah. Sorry, I've done conventions too long and seen too many Homestuck fans. That's the real talk. I've done anime convention work for so long that I haven't had a good taste of fandoms since then. I mean, I guess would you even call the anime fandom a fandom anymore? Okay, you know what? There's my answer. I was a part of the anime fandom when anime was its own fandom, because it was the smallness. It was a small niche hobby as opposed to the mainstream thing it is now. And I'm glad it's a mainstream thing. I actually think it's phenomenal. I don't have to pay $1 billion for shipping if I want to get a piece of merch. But yeah. So I would say that's a good fandom. But yeah, like, a lot of things, like Rick and Morty is a good TV show. It's a good show. The fandom is just wretched. Homestuck is a pretty amusing comic on its front that goes into some really interesting storytelling methods. The fandom is crazy. The fandom is weird and uncomfortable to me. If you're part of either of those fandoms, I mean, you probably know better than I do how wild they can be at times. Like, I'm not preaching anything that's controversial, I don't think. What's my favorite thing that Terra and Goliath do? Goliath is old. Goliath is just ancient. Goliath is just the oldest cat in the world. I mean, that's not true, but super, super old. So my favorite thing is just when I have a giant beanbag chair. It's actually filled with memory foam instead of beans, but it's a giant 2 meter across, a little less than that, but almost 2 meters across beanbag chair. It's enormous. It's the kind of thing that you can actually jump on and stretch out on. It feels great. And Goliath will plop down direct dead center in the middle of it and take up the entire thing himself. Be like, nope, this entire thing, this entire bed, this is mine. You can't have it. It's adorable. Terra is just the greatest bean in all. Terra is just so good in general. I mean, I don't even know if I can name a single thing for Terra. Everything that Terra does is a delight. Goliath is my cat. Goliath is 18 years old on a breed that usually lives to 12. Yeah, Goliath is like 150 in human years. He's ancient, he is sassy, he is strong, and he can still jump on high counters. He's a Bengal cat, and he's yeah. He's slowed down, and he's getting super old, but he's still a very good kitty. And Terra is my puppy. Terra is actually a therapy dog. That I trained myself, not for me, not a therapy dog for me, not like an emotional support animal, but it's a dog that I trained for therapy. And before things, I took Terra to a retirement home, and dogs can connect with Alzheimer's and memory care patients in ways that they can no longer connect to other people. And they also bring back memories that they have otherwise don't have access to in their own mind. So, yeah. What was a... Hold on, let me check thing. So yeah, that Tara is a therapy dog, and everything that she does is good. She is a licensed, registered, card-carrying good girl. I thought it made you look like you were focusing on reading. Was that a real thing, or that you were checking chat? Yep, yeah. If I turned like this before, and my model had a frown on it, that was genuinely just because I was turning. Because usually, okay, today I have chat dead center. Usually, chat is right here, somewhere around this face, and I have to turn to look at it because I have two monitors. So I have one big monitor that's 1440p, which is why I stream in 1440p, which is another thing I like about YouTube, is it lets me stream in 1440p. That's also why I have like a 10-second delay, is because I'm streaming at such high quality. Sponsorships. I could get sponsors, but they're not sponsors. I can't get any sponsors that I would want to have. So there's a couple sponsorships that will approach somebody who has my level of subs, but they're not being paid to say a thing. They're being paid for signups. So I could sponsor Raid Shadow Legends right now. Easily. I could reach out to them and have a sponsorship with them in like within 48 hours. But I would only get credit for the number of people who signed up and finished the tutorial. So you would have to download it, sign up, and finish the tutorial for me to get registered, to get any credit, and I would have to have at least 5 people do that. Apart from the fact that I don't really want to inflict a relatively predatory game on my viewers, apart from the fact that I neither really respect that game design nor want to promote it, even putting that apart, even putting that entirely to the side and saying, not even talking about that. Even apart from that, I don't know how many people I would actually be able to get to do it. And I have to get 5 to get a payout. And even then, the payout is actually pretty good. And it's tempting. I'm not going to lie. It's tempting. But for now, I'm holding out until monetization and just hoping that people... honestly, my biggest love right now, my biggest goal right now is that I want people to... is that I want to get recurring subscribers. I want to get anybody on the Ko-fi page who has a monthly donation. Because that even $1 a month, when you have, 5, 6, 20 people doing it, that's where actual money, long-term money comes from, is people donating $1 a month every month, and then having a couple hundred people do that. That's where money comes from. So I could sponsor. Right now, my sponsorship is this thing. It's, is this thing. Am I looking in the right direction? How do I have to look at that? I don't know. Does that look at that? I don't know. Wait, hold on. I have an arrow. Where's my arrow? This thing. That's my sponsorship right now. And the fact that I have that is why, is why I haven't really looked into sponsors. Plus, all I have to do is hit 1,000 subs to monetize on YouTube. I know that's not going to be a whole lot at the start, but that should help. And I don't think it'll happen next month, but it might. Honestly, the Game Jam might push me to that range. Here's an announcement. I'll announce a thing right now. I have gotten permission to do the opening ceremonies for a Go-Go Game Jam. The Go-Go Game Jam opening ceremonies will be on my channel, so that'll be a thing. That's cool. Let's see. Every time you reveal things and to show that you're an amazing... Oh, thank you. Probably the most wholesome and caring individual... How? No. There's lots of wholesome people out there. I'm the definite... No. I'm just me. I'm just me, that's all. I'm just me, and I hope that's good enough. I want to see you grow, but I'm sorry to tell you you're about as big as a kobold can go. Oh, and that... Yeah, joke about height. That's fair, yeah. I mean, yeah... Canonically, I am 1 meter tall. This is true. And yeah, the bigger you get, the faster you grow. That's something even right now, after hitting around, I'm close to 500. Like, real talk, I'm getting real close to 500. I'm currently at Refreshing. 472. Although I think that might not be updated because I think someone just subscribed to the stream. I'm at 472, and last Tuesday, Wednesday, before stream, I actually picked up 2 subscribers. I actually picked up subscribers on a day where I neither streamed nor uploaded anything, which means that people organically found me, which means that people are actually starting to find me, which means that people are I'm starting to grow on my own, which that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing. That honestly, the big thing is 1,000. When I hit 1K and monetize, YouTube will show my videos to more people because they'll be incentivized to do so because they will be monetizing my videos. So they'll want to. Right now, because my videos aren't monetized, big surprise, surprise, YouTube isn't showing my videos to people because, again, they don't have any real reason to show off people who are not monetized. So I'm just not getting as much vision. There's a statistic. Where is it? Audience? Here. Yeah, audience. Right here. I'm not going to go too much into back-end YouTube stuff, statistics, unless people really decide they want to care about it. But... Oh. Oh, wow. 87% of my watch time is from people who have subscribed. 13% of my watch time is from people who have not subscribed. Those numbers should be reversed. If you look at any of the big streamers and most of the medium-sized streamers, that number is reversed. It's usually that 87% of your watches time is from people who are not subscribed, and that's normal. The fact that all of you guys are subscribed is great. I love it. It's fantastic. But that doesn't actually change the fact that YouTube isn't showing my videos to as many people as they would once I am subscribed. Do I have anything? What fan? Let me answer the Ripley's question first, because it's more on topic. Do I have anything planned for when I get to 1,000? Honestly, the biggest thing I have for 1,000 is monetization, because I'm not that, like, there's 2 steps. The first step is subscribers. I have 472 out of 1,000. The second step is 4,000 hours of watch time. I already have 3,000 hours of watch time. That's not a problem for me because I'm a streamer, because I'm a live streamer. I have the watch time. So the moment I hit 1K, I will slam the monetization button. Apart from that, as far as stuff, I'm definitely going to do something like this. I'm definitely going to be doing. I kind of have event streams every other week, right? Like, I have event streams all the hecking time. With meme reviews and with collabs and with stuff like that. So I don't have anything specific planned for 1,000. And it'll still be a hot minute away, frankly, but... Well, I guess here's a question. What game should I play for 1,000? Let me look at a thing. What is that doing? What's that doing? I don't want that there. I should probably pick a game to play at 1,000. I don't even know what it would be, though. I really don't. There's a bunch of games that I am interested in. Ghost of Tsushima I want to play. Okami I want to play, and I think would be a really good fit for the channel, frankly. Second Densetsu 3 remake. What Remains of Edith Finth? Sure. Okay, 3,000 hours, including all is hours of watch time. So that's including everybody who's watched this since the start, means that this stream alone has. We've been going for about 2 hours with averaging, let's say, 7 concurrent viewers. So yeah, that's 14 hours of watch time. That's how that works. Yeah, that's what that means. So I need 4,000 hours of watch time, and I'm on track. I'll get that before I get the subscriber count, almost guaranteed. For someone like Adrian, for someone like Redefined Game Dev, their problem is the opposite, because their videos are 8 minutes long or 5 minutes long, and are fully edited. So they hit their subscriber count before they hit the watch time count and they struggled to get their watch time up because, well, they had the watch time, the subscriber count but because their videos were so short, even though they had more views, their actual net watch time were not was not adding up to for him. So I have the opposite view problem. Although it's not really going to be a problem. It's just time. It's just time and continuing. I'm continuing. I like what I'm doing. I'm really happy with who I am. Like, just, I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with who I am as a streamer, and I'm happy with the content that I'm making. I understand. Yeah, you don't have to understand that. I expect you guys not to understand how this stuff works, because that it's not the kind of stuff that most YouTubers talk about, and it's not something the kind of thing I talk about very much either. This is just this kind of a special QA sort of situation. Anyways, where were we? I'll get to Zeths after I go back to Sapphires. What fan work was I most surprised to see to hear or see about? I was surprised about when someone made an actual animation. I still need to stitch that into things. But I guess what was really surprising to me was when I commissioned Tori for a Minecraft skin, which I did just like this week or last week, some week, I don't know, and then a day or two later, someone else, Rima-chan, my actual artist, my actual Vtuber model artist, approaches me and says, "Hey, do you need a Minecraft skin?" I was like, I would have like yesterday, but oh my gosh, because that was just out of left field. I had no, that caught me blindsided. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, but no, but somehow what, and then hecking Tuzzy made a Jade Minecraft axolotl skin the next day, or like a day or two later. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, that caught me off guard. That caught me super off guard. Let's see. Also, memes. Like, I've only had a couple of people do memes of me, but I've liked them. Those are always hype. This one I got. This is the image of a true. That's Junji Ito, the horror manga artist, and I have several questions. I'm actually not a fan of Jontron after he ended up coming out as a not great person, but that's still a great meme. Jontron has some fantastic memes with it. So yeah, those I find amusing. Where am I? Hello, Merchant. Hello, Jack. Hello, whatever name you want to go by, I forget. Like, which you prefer. What are my thoughts on playing games that I'm already very familiar with for the stream? Chimera Squad. I have effectively platinumed Chimera Squad before I played it on stream. I know that game. I knew that game back and forth. So yeah, no, I have played games that I'm extremely familiar with, and I'm planning out doing it again for a future collab that I can't talk about too much again in the future. So I'm fine playing games that I'm very familiar with. Although I think in general, most of my content is that first impressions. It is me learning the game along with my fans. It's me learning. Just called Merchant? Okay. Cheers, Ripley. It's a lot of my content is me learning the game and me being confused by the game and me trying to come to an understanding about what's going on while I'm playing it for the first time. So a lot of my content, it will continue to be that because, well, in general, that's what I like to do. But every once in a while, I'll be in the mood to play a game, and if I think it's something that's streamable, like I'll probably stream. Like, what's a game that I've played a billion times? You know what? I'm going to stream in the future. I'm going to stream hacking Final Fantasy 5 and 6. Heck, maybe I'll even do 4-Job Fiesta. That's next one of those is in what? March? It's a charity event. Yeah. So I will do more games that I'm familiar with. Final Fantasy 5 and 6. Civilization Beyond Earth. I adore Civ Beyond Earth. I think it's criminally underrated, and I'll probably play that. And Chimera Squad, I have already platinumed. I knew that game back and forth, up and down. So, yeah, if I'm playing a game already. Follow-up question was whether I stream any mainline Final Fantasy. Yeah, I'm currently playing Final Fantasy X-2 on my own time. Not streaming it because that's just like a game that I'm playing on my own. Hello, Snowy. But I'm enjoying it. So far, I'm enjoying it. Where was I saying? But yeah, as far as games that I already know, probably it'll be mostly fresh content. It'll probably be mostly games that I'm learning while I'm playing them. Games like I could restream Gyromancer. I like Gyromancer, and that's really underrated, and I really do know the game. And my stream on it that I actually have on the channel is like from back in like January. I wasn't as good a streamer then. So I can answer a lot of questions about Final Fantasy games. I actually would like to talk about that. So if you want to ask more questions about Final Fantasy games, like I could, yeah. Anyways, what are my thoughts on horror games? I like some horror games if they're survival and not jump scary. I think jump scares are cheap tactics used by horror designers to force fear into a situation where they could not figure out how to make it organically. I think Five Nights at Freddy's is a really good clickbait game and a really bad game. So, how personal are we allowed to get? Anything too personal, I will answer in character. I mean, that's the genuine answer. Is like most of my answers are me being me. I'll finish some more thoughts on horror games in a second. I just want to answer this one real quick on the way. Like, most of my streams are just me, and most of my stuff is genuine. Like, most of the stories I tell are actual, genuine things that have happened. I don't think I've actually made any of them up, honestly. And I use my character to cover up things that I don't feel comfortable talking about, like, my age, where I live, and, like, stuff like that. I answer in character. So you can ask as personal as you want, as long as you're not doing anything outside of TOS on YouTube. Whether or not I answer them in character or not will depend on how personal the question is. I think that's more than fair. As far as the horror games, I like System Shock 2. I think System Shock 2 is a fantastic game. System Shock 2 is a really, really good game, and I like it. And it's the first horror game that I actually enjoyed. Like, genuinely, it's the first horror game that I actually enjoyed. And the only way to convince me to play a horror game is to tell me that it's like System Shock 2. Like, games like Prey, which I'm currently playing right now on the channel, or games like Soma, which I played earlier this year on the channel, were both billed to me as being like System Shock. I'm like, oh, okay. I liked Soma a lot. Pardon me. My throat is exploding. I really enjoyed Soma because I enjoy the transhumanist philosophy behind it. Not because it's scary. I enjoyed the story. Same with System Shock 2. I like System Shock 2 because the Proletaform and the Many and Shodan herself are really interesting characters, well written. Yeah, and that's why I enjoy those games, not because they're quote-unquote horror. So, yeah, I will probably play some more horror games, but I guess I'm just picky. Two horror games I definitely want to play. 3 horror games. I can think of 3 horror games I definitely want to play. The first, as Connor mentioned, is Subnautica. I think that I should play Subnautica, and I think that I will do it in VR. I will stream Subnautica in VR, and I will be probably very scared, but I think that it'll be interesting. Apart from that, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I played a little bit of it. It's intense. It's good. It puts you in the shoes of somebody who has an undiagnosed um, 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 of undiagnosed what do you, I guess dementia, I guess just dementia, I guess dementia. And yeah, you have to live in and see the world in their shoes, and like you actually get some of their OCD where you have to look at things from certain angles and make certain connections visually before you can proceed, which is something that I understand because I have ADD myself, and like I will sometimes, for me, it's walking. When I walk, it changes per surface. But if there's like a tile floor and a wood floor in the same room, the number of steps that I make on the tile floor will be a multiple of 4. Always. And the number of steps on the wood floor will also be a multiple of 4. That's something that I can't not do. It's not OCD. It's not. Don't diagnose me or something like that. It really isn't. It's not that. It's that's how I self-entertain. If I'm just walking down a hallway, I'm not mentally engaged with anything, right? I'm not mentally engaged with walking. I'm not mentally engaged with watching something or doing something. So that's how I mentally engage with that walk. So, for me, that's that's a thing, and that and that game, Senua's Sacrifice, forces you to engage in some of those types of situations, so some of those types of mental states, which is cool and terrifying, which is interesting. Oh, hey, Maro. Where am I? Favorite reaction to a cutscene in a game? I cried in the first tree. While playing the first tree, I broke down in tears because there was a moment that was so beautiful. I'm not going to spoil it. That's actually a stream that I'm really proud of because it left me a lot of open space just to talk idly and just to open up about things. But one of the last cutscenes in that game moved me to tears. It was incredibly powerful. It was incredibly beautiful, and I loved it. You should play that game, and yeah, that's my favorite reaction to a cutscene in a game. After that would be the non-binary moment in Alliance Song. Alliance Song, specifically the second stream of Alliance Song, the second episode I did on the channel, still stands out as my favorite stream. Like that's probably my best voice acting. Frankly, that's probably the best voice acting I've done outside of like the Some of the Seas stream, But the Sun of the Sea stream, I was chewing at the scenery pretty hard. I was kind of chewing at the scenery real hard in Sun of the Seas, I got to admit. but Lion's Song was very emotionally powerful as well, and I really am proud of that stream overall. Those two are my two favorite cutscene moments of games that I've played. You have a fear of open water? That's too bad. I think the open water is beautiful. Your hair seems to change at certain points in the movie. Do you wear wigs? Which movie? I guess that'd be my question. If you actually have tracked down a movie I'm in, then props. That's not an easy thing to do. I'm fairly security conscious, but if you actually have seen it, then the second time that my hair was actually had a white powder in it. It was actually powdered and to make it look more undead. So actually, yes. I'm guessing that's a shot in the dark. I'm guessing that you're saying that just as a joke, as a haha, I found you, but you didn't actually. Maybe you did. I genuinely don't know. But there's a genuine answer for you. My hair does change at different points in the movie, and it's because after I turned into a zombie, they gave me a powder in my hair plus all of the makeup, the makeup. Fun fact: I was actually the only zombie extra, the only zombie in that movie. I guess technically not extra. I was the only zombie in that movie that was actually properly Society of American Fight Directors stage combat trained. That's why I got more. That's why I got more of the combat scenes. Is because I was actually the only one who was technically supposed to be making those scenes. That was a great event. That was a great set. And a great director. That was a great time. I should get back into. I don't know. I would like to get back on movie sets, but it's like a whole thing. I do like paying bills, I'm a big fan of paying bills, so like I don't know. Ah. Miss Richmond is talking about the lighting for my model. If it's just this, then yeah, no, that's just some source lighting. I thought you were actually talking about my movie career, which I don't know, maybe. Either way, yeah, there's a story about my movie career. Yeah, I don't talk about that too much because I don't want to get doxxed. But again, if you actually did spot me in that, then please don't dox. I love water and appreciate it greatly, but when I submerge myself in open water environment, I feel that you just can't. Just nope. Mm-hmm. I love open water. I love scuba diving. I haven't been able to go scuba diving in, like, gosh, heckin' long time. Real long time. But I love scuba diving, personally. Though underwater is different. Like, being underwater is actually a lot different than swimming in the ocean. It's an entirely different world down there, and it's beautiful. Let's see. Are there any questions I missed? My phone is tapping things at random times, so I might not chat just because my phone. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Totally fair. Did I miss any questions? If I missed a question, go back and re-ask it. I'm scrolling up, but I don't see anything I missed recently. Yeah, feel free to toss anything in chat. Oh, there's a... Okay. What's my least favorite part about only having one lung? Honestly, it's more of just a... So I went... Again, scuba diver. I went from having a swimmer's and scuba diver's, excellent lung capacity to having the lung capacity of an average person. That's what happened, is I went from having an excellent lung capacity to having a quote-unquote normal lung capacity. And that stinks. I don't know how y'all dealt with that. Yeah. So no, that's the worst part about. Honestly, it's more of just a story to tell. It didn't actually change my life in any real big way apart from that one. Apart from being able to have a cool story to tell. So it didn't actually change that much. I guess I do miss I use less oxygen when I'm underwater, though, I guess, so there's that. What's my favorite retro console? Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo has a list of phenomenal RPGs on it, and I love them all. And honestly, if you look at the Super Nintendo's library... Are we talking about horrible Jade injuries? Honestly, Shin, go for it. Yeah, my shoulder is like a whole thing. That's true. That is very true. My shoulder randomly pops out of socket. It's just a thing. It's just like a thing that happens. Don't worry about it. No, I have loose joints. I'm extraordinarily flexible, and I have naturally loose joints. And the good side is that I'm extremely flexible, and that I'm extremely limber, and that I have And the downside is that I'm too flexible to the point where if you put your arm straight up and you feel the angle that the ball is in the socket and just kind of nudge it from the back, you can feel how there's stuff that keeps it from popping out. What if you were really flexible and that stuff wasn't there? It just literally pops out of my socket. And just it dislocates, and I literally have to die hard it back in. I mean, I can do it myself. I don't have to call an ambulance or anything because, again, it makes it easy to pull in. But it does crowbar the muscle. It just takes the muscle and just levers it like a crowbar, and it's incredibly painful. It's oh my gosh, it hurts. And that's why I never got into stunt work. That's why even though I did do stage combat for so long, I didn't do a lot of stunt work. Because stunt work, you can't have a stunt actor that can't do, a simple grab. Like, I can't grab from onto a helicopter. If you can't grab onto a helicopter, how are you supposed to apply for stunt work? Right? Like, Okay, no more painful body things. I will not talk about... I will not talk about the other extremely painful wound that is a thing that is... Don't worry about it. I won't bring it up. Okay, other... But yeah, if you look at the Super Nintendo's library, it's fascinating to look at how much of it still holds up. Like, Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6 still hold up today. The sprite work still legitimately looks good. The sprite work still looks fantastic. Does F-Zero hold up? No, not really. Does Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo hold up? It actually does. Like, it's the same mechanics as the new Mario Karts. The new Mario Karts just have fancier stages. Do I have opinions on the current MMO market? Boy, how do you know I do. Yeah. The MMO market right now, a MMO that I think that I would enjoy, I don't think could exist again. Because the MMOs that I enjoyed were structured on community building. I mean, I did an entire stream on community building in MMOs, and that's... Yeah, that was one of my game dev streams. And, well, MMOs are not MMOs anymore. That's my hot take, I guess. There's a few outliers, sure. But by and large, MMOs either focus on PvP, in which case, that's like... that's not my scene. I don't like PvP. I respect it, but in those cases, with auto-matching and queuing, MMO's structure is barely different from playing a MOBA. Like, if I would just play Dota instead of playing, a PvP MMO. And as far as PvE, community-wise, I don't want an MMO that has queues. I want to actually meet people, have to talk to people, and actually have to communicate with the player base. But that's not profitable because so many people want that quick queue. And I understand why. It makes a lot of sense why. I don't want to, sit for 5 hours looking for group on Dark Knight either. I get it. But at the same time, aspects of that infrastructure, aspects of that type of game are just missing from the modern MMO market, and I miss them. That's the honest answer, is that I just miss those aspects. And I hope that changes, but I don't expect it to because nobody's calling for it. The only people who are calling for it don't actually care anymore. Yoroshiku! Rapapa. Hi. これはコボルです。自分はジェイドです。どうぞお願いします。Okay, where was New Worlds? I will have to look into that. I'm not sure on what that is, but the modern style, the modern MMOs that are being made are not MMOs that I am particularly enjoying. Which is fine. I mean, I don't have to enjoy that anymore. It's not... I've long since accepted that the new MMOs are not for me. And they don't have to be. They don't have to be. They don't have to be for me for them to be good. Obviously, like... Final Fantasy XIV is enormous, and a lot of people enjoy it, and I respect it. It's not a game that I enjoy, and that's okay. I just don't know that a game that I enjoy would still be made anymore. Does it, you know what I mean? Like, Final Fantasy XI. I mean, I guess Guild Wars might be one of the other only things, if they make a new Guild Wars thing. Let me... Pa. Okay, sorry, just making sure that everything is working on the model. Again, this is a new this is a new model setup. Wait, that's not working. That's not working. Ah. Pa. Pa 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 pa. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Does that work? That should work. Hello! Ha. Pa 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 pa. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at my model stuff. Let me just do that for now. Okay, have I... Where am I? Active combat MMO? Think Terra with a job system, but bound to skill with weapons? That sounds kind of cool, but my thing is my biggest thing is the community. The biggest question I have is, does it have the community aspect of the old MMOs? And I don't know if it does. I've not tried Albion. I've sort of shied off of MMOs in general right now. I enjoy playing new full experiences. Oh my gosh, I love it. Hold on, hold on, hold on. This is getting on stream. 1 second. Hold up. I'm putting this on stream and you can't stop me. That's amazing. That's amazing. Someone just posted that. Someone literally just posted that, and it's incredible. I love it. I just glanced over at Discord and saw that, and it's like, oh my goodness, oh my godness, oh my gosh, oh my golly. I love it. Okay. Where was I? Questions? Yes, feel free to ask questions. I have not played Albion. I like playing games that go that are complete, that have a beginning, middle, and end. And very few MMOs are that. I know Guild Wars is, and I could be convinced to play that. Honestly, like that's one that I could be convinced to play through for the storyline, and gameplay style and jazz. But yeah. Merch is available on Ko-fi. Actually, merch is currently right now available. I've only actually sold one. Actually, only one person's actually bought one. People kept asking for merch. I've had so many requests for merch, and then I actually put merch up, and only one person ended up buying it. Like, okay. But yeah, no, there is merch available on the on the Ko-fi storefront. So yeah, no, merch is available. It's a keychain. It's actually bigger than it looks. Like that's one thing that surprised me when I got the merch. Is yeah, Zeth has theirs. Zeth is literally the only person who actually bought one. But yeah, no, these are actually pretty big. They're like 4 centimeters across or something. Something like that. I have one on my desk. So yeah, no, merch exists. I have merch. I'll make merch in the future. This is just, I wanted to do one to start out with. In your defense, you have no money. So, you know what? Fair. That's fair. I respect that. Again, I'm not asking for money. I'm just saying that, you know, I've had people ask for I've had a lot of people asking for merch, and then I put up merch, and I was surprised by the discrepancy between the two. It's hanging from your Vulpix foot on your desk. Oh, that's adorable. I would love to see a picture of that. That'd be incredible. You're primarily broke. Yeah, that's fair. I respect that. I respect that. That's why I'm also not pushing sponsorships and stuff. Like I know people, you know, are just vibing. But yeah, no, I have ideas for other merch, but I'm not going to put any more merch out until I sell more of this, frankly. But I have ideas for a mug, a coffee mug, you know, tea mug rather. I don't drink coffee. but Jade room review. Nah. 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 I don't think so. Oh, you mean review their room? Oh, you know what? I wouldn't actually feel that comfortable doing that either. I thought you were saying, like, post pictures of my room. It's like, I'm weird. I have some animation cells above the monitor, above my monitor. And fun fact, sometimes when I'm talking to chat, I look at them. So if you see me looking up here and talking to chat, or here, now that the eye tracking is a lot better, so you can actually see it more clearly, that's me talking to my animation cells. I think there's only one person, I think there's only one person in chat right now who could actually guess what animation cells, because they've seen them, what animation cells I have in my room. That's a hard trivia. Trying to get a first job is scary. Yeah, that's a tough time. And I've said it before, and I hate that it's true, but finding a job is a full-time job. Like, finding a new job can be a 40-hour-a-week full-time job where you just don't happen to not get paid. Like, ugh, it's rough. Unfair trivia. Mike, I'd be surprised if you can name all the 3 animation cells I have in my streaming area, and you've been here. Hopefully there'll be a few in stock by the time you're older for one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Aww. Yeah, I would be so honored for that to be the case. You'd have to think about it. Fair. So, ow. Water. But yeah, no. We've been going for 2.5 hours, but we have a good number of people here. Since when did I actually have all new tracking as of today. I made that announcement at the beginning of the stream. I have all new tracking setup as of today. And yeah, part of the new tracking setup is that when I do a wide smile, I've always had a blush emoji. I've always had a blush emote. But now, now it's tied to the smile a little bit. It just adds a little bit of the blush lines. Otherwise, I had to literally push a button to blush. Now it's actually tied into the smile, which I actually think is pretty cool. I had to change the software I'm using, but that's fine. I got back a little bit of the most important part of the software that I used, which is the lighting. I used to use PR Live. If you're starting out VTubing, I recommend PR Live. It's a really good piece of software. I've literally used PR Live up until today. Now I have to use VTube Studio because, well, I have this thing that tracks me on VTube Studio, but it tracks me a lot better, and offloads the tracking to a phone instead of to my processor, and it's one less USB port because I don't have to have a webcam hooked up, and because sending just tracking data, there's no chance of an accidental face reveal, and blah blah blah, etc. etc. So no, this is a new setup that I think is going to work very well for me. Did I overspend on it? Yes. Yes, I definitely did. But you know what? I'm going to use it for as long as I'm VTubing, and I have no intention of stopping VTubing. I've been doing this for 10 months? 11 months? Gosh, when did I actually start? No, I've been doing it for 11 months. I started around November 18th, I want to say. Somewhere in the middle of November last year. Once you get a job, you'll buy merch. Don't worry about it. Again, I'm not asking people to do things or pay things. All I'm asking for... Okay, there it goes. All I'm asking for is this. And you should hit the bell, too. Actually, you know what? That's what I'm going to ask for. Hit the bell. I noticed just today that my YouTube analytics page actually does make note of how many people have rung the bell. So, yeah, hit that bell, I guess. I don't know. Don't even have to. Bum, 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 bum. And head pats, of course. My debut on YouTube was February, yes. I streamed for, starting in November on Twitch. But I literally streamed on Twitch until I decided I was good enough to stream on the platform I wanted to platform on. And I want to be on YouTube. And again, I still don't even know if that's a good idea, but I do sometimes question things, but I'm happy. I just need to convert all of my TikTok followers to YouTube followers. That's really all it boils down to. TikTok, Jade the Kobold. Do I have my TikTok listed into the description? I don't think I do. TikTok is a vessel that I use to send people to YouTube, frankly. No, I don't. Honestly, if you found me on YouTube, you'll see all of my YouTube shorts that I upload here, and my YouTube shorts are what I post on TikTok. It's just the same thing. Hey, Medic! What day would I consider my official anniversary date? That's an interesting question. Ooh. Oh, beans. When I get to my anniversary date, I'm gonna have to rewatch my debut. If I get to my anniversary date, I'm gonna have to rewatch my debut and react to it. So I'm gonna go with never, because I don't want to do that. No thanks. That's a terrible idea. Nope. No. No anniversary. I've always just started. No, honestly, you know what? Let me look up when... I can actually still look up on my Twitter. Gosh, you know what was really weird? Well, you know what was really weird was when I started out on YouTube, I was still going to Twitch to talk to people, right? I was still talking to people on Twitch. Yeah, I was still talking to people on Twitch. And I was actually getting more subs for a while on my depreciated Twitch account that I didn't use at all than I was on YouTube, and that felt real bad. Because people were finding me on Twitch and be like, "Oh, hey, this must be the channel. Also, I'll give them a sub." It's like, no, that's not where I am. Oh yeah, I'll do a voice reads for $5. I mean, honestly, if you donate, I will read the donation on stream as well. So effectively, you're already getting a voice read for $5 or $3. I think I have it set to right now, or something like that. So yeah, that's actually already on there. Oh wait, Medic's question. Hello, Medic. Oh, actually, let me finish this train of thought before then I'll answer Medic's question. I suppose. When... Heck. Hold up. Where's the date on this? My oldest clip, is early December. When would I consider that to be? Oh, Twitch literally... Okay, Twitch, reset everyone's stream key. That's smart. People want to celebrate. I don't mind. The beans. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. I genuinely don't know. When did Niji Sanji auditions close? When you know what? That's actually what I'll say. When am I cute? Yes, I'm adorable. I mean, okay. That's actually something, you know, okay, I'll get back to that one in a second, because I actually have words to say about VTubers that go, no, I'm not cute, no. Like, actually kind of sickens me. But I'll talk about that in a moment. Medic's question, Jade question. Would you like to see more art of Kurtulmak in the concept of him, or are you only in the Kobold wanting that? I would like to see Kurtulmak explored as a character, not in art, but in lore. I want more content of kobolds as non-villains. I mean, kobolds are, live in a communal living space. They protect the members of their tribe. They have no concept of money. They have they live and are willing to die for the good of their of everybody. There's a lot of cute and adorable and wholesome things about kobolds, and honestly, I just want more recognition for kobolds as a race in Dungeons and Dragons and otherwise in other similar IPs. I just want that explored more because I think that there's a lot of untapped interest there that people are just not. Honestly, yeah, no, I'll say it's February, whatever heck it was. That was my. I'll go with my that was my model debut. I'll say that my anniversary is my model debut. Otherwise, it's like just like a month from now. Otherwise, it's like coming right up. So I think that would make more sense anyways because I was kind of doing PNG tubing stuff before then. My debut was on February 12th. I think that's reasonable. We can just go with that. That's also a good time. Yeah, kobolds are mutual aid, which I guess some people think is political or not. I don't know. Okay, so the cute thing. Okay. I get it. I genuinely get it. People are like, "Oh no, I'm not cute," and then their chat goes, "Oh, you're so cute," and then the VTuber goes, "No, don't call me cute," and it's engagement. It's literally engagement. It's a literally, non-figuratively, fishing for engagement, and it works. It's fantastic, and it works. I am proud of myself. I genuinely am proud of myself, and I am okay with being cute. Like, yes, I am adorable. You call me good at video games, then you're just wrong. Like, then you're just explicitly wrong, and you're just wrong. But if you're calling me cute, like, no, I am pretty adorable. I try very hard to be adorable. Thank you for noticing. Like, that's my genuine non-toxic answer. Is that yes, I am cute. Thank you for noticing. I really appreciate that you have that you care. It means a lot to me that you think that. It makes me feel better that you say that. That's my genuine answer, is that somebody says that I'm cute, and I say, I'm proud of myself, and I am thankful that you think that. Because that does mean a lot to me. And I feel that it cheapens it. I think that the VTuber, I'm not cute, cheapens the compliment. It takes the compliment and tosses it out in hopes that you'll reinforce it and add more, and let's be blunt here, and add more chat engagement. Or Twitch or Twitter engagement, as the case may be. I'm proud of my cuteness. Hashtag cute. Hello Dree. Dro? Ori? I don't know. Hi. What would you consider a really cool story or campaign? Like the Trama? I'm not sure what you mean by that word. Trema? I have a really cool setting, though. The setting is a new world getting discovered. A new continent with a giant anti-magic rift in between that you can't access. Like, you can't scry past that rift. You can't get past the rift with any magical items. Anybody magically inclined or magically constructed, like Warforged, get violently sick during that part of the travel. But if you keep on going, there is another untapped continent. It's a colonial style thing where you are some of the first people to landfall and help build the colony, and find ways to work both with the natives of the land and with and learn about the new area and find out about its history. I have written an entire campaign about that and run it. Actually, I've actually run the campaign once entirely, and it was phenomenal. It went great. And it has a really cool concept, which actually I'm going to make a TikTok about, for Kenku. The Kenku are necroiarchal. The Kenku are necroiarchal. The hierarchy of the society is based on necromancy. The older of a necromancer that you are, the higher of a status you have. And they're all lich. All of them, top to bottom. Every one of them, they have a way of becoming a lich that does not require death. It does not require the death of intelligent creatures. You don't need to kill humans or stuff. You can just slaughter. You can just slaughter calves and such for it. So they, as a rite of passage, they eventually get what is called their first death. And after their first death, they resurrect as a lich, and that's like their puberty. That's their coming of age, is when they die their first death. And what makes that even more interesting is that they don't really have the same understanding of death. Death to them is a minor setback. I mean, if you get in a bar fight and you kill somebody, they'll just regrow out of their phylactery in a few days. It's just an annoyance. It's just them dying is just, a thing that happens. And sometimes they forget that when dealing with other races. They forget that other races aren't all lich and that death is permanent for them, because that's just not how their society runs. Which leads to, misunderstandings, shall we say? It leads to them some interesting communications. Like, it was like, oh, they're dead. Oh, wow. But yeah, no, but yeah, everybody is a necromancer. Good night, sneaky little kobold. Sleep well, friend. But yeah, everybody in their society is a necromancer. Like, the farmers raise undead to till the fields. The blacksmith raised an undead owlbear to work his forge, to work the bellows on the forge. Like, top to bottom, all being necromancers creates an entirely different type of society than you would have experienced before, than you would have considered experiencing. Does that make sense? Oh, I think it's cool. I think that was a really cool and innovative idea. So that's one facet of the campaign. There's also ancient ruins to the south. There's a giant goblin hulk that followed you out here. So you have to deal with the goblins before they become an invasive species. And there's also there's a kobold warren in the mountains to the north as well. And there's also an entire community of Gripply, who are genuine, healthy, happy to help people who are sometimes being exploited by other cultures, but also they're being exploited by some of the people who came from the old world, which is something that the players need to consider. How do we cope with that? What do we meaningfully do with that? I do want to play a D&D campaign with Vtubers. I was a little sad. I thought that Little Appleseed was going to invite me to their campaign, but they didn't. I mean, that's okay, but I know there's someone else on V Creatures who was going to start a campaign, and they were going to invite, but I don't know when that's going to be. I'm definitely going to GM something when Monster Care Squad comes out. I am absolutely playing Monster Care Squad. That's absolutely happening. Monster Care Squad is such a cool good design. So Monster Care Squad, for people who don't know, is a new tabletop RPG that all the players play as doctors. Not PhD doctors, but experts in their field. Or not all medical doctors, but all experts in their field. And your job is to go save and protect the the giant monster creatures that serve as guardians of the land, that bring water to the crops, that are responsible for making sure that the ocean water near this city is fresh water and drinkable. Like they protect the land and they get sick. And you need to go and find out A, where they are, B, what kind of sickness they have. You might have to leave screen? Oh, it's fine. It'll always be here. You have to find out what kind of sickness they have, and you have to find out from the locals what sort of remedies that they use for sicknesses. Because one thing I do like is that the locals, the way they designed the world, magic shifts from place to place, and as a result, alchemy and chemistry do as well. So a plant that's a healing property in one area might not be in another. They did this to fix the problem of the white savior, the idea of the colonialist coming in and fixing all the natives' problems. They specifically say that no, the natives are the ones who the natives to this region are the ones who know what medicines work in this area and how to handle them. So you need to ask them how to heal various sicknesses, because they don't want you being a colonialist, which I think is really cool. I really like that concept. I think it's a very cool concept and way of handling that, because that's something that's usually ignored. The system has combat, but it's not, a combat-focused system. Which I like. I mean, again, most of my RPG time is with other actors. Most of my RPG time is... honestly, real talk, I've had some very posh RPGs, like sessions, like not like, actually with expensive, but I've had some very fortunate RPG games where I'm playing with other actors, and it just makes an entirely different dynamic. I think I talked about this before, but there's a big difference between the reason that Matt Mercer is such a good GM, one of the reasons, he's a fantastic GM, one of the reasons he's such a good GM is that he has a great audience. Like, he has a great players. His players are great. They set him up for success, and he sets them up for success, and it creates a wonderful feedback loop. And that's really awesome. Yeah. So yeah. If you want your GM to be like Matt Mercer, be more like the players around the table at Critical Role. Give information, give feedback, give thoughts, give character moments to the world, and the GM will have more than enough to work with to make your experience better. And this goes for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're streaming or if you're an actor or if you have only played, a game. Like that. Yeah. Respond to what your GM is doing, and you will get more out of it. Which is why I want to play as a player again as well. But does that look weird when I go in and out? I'm just shifting in my chair. It looks kind of weird when I do it. Oh, Edie. So what about is it weird that games like Call of Duty actually calm me? No, not at all. No. That's refocusing. Refocusing is a good way of dealing with anxiety. Now, sometimes that's, meditation. Sometimes that's, what are some other refocusing techniques that people use? If you use any refocusing techniques, hello, Artemis! If you use any refocusing techniques for anxiety, put them in chat. But no, playing a game that requires a lot of focus and attention is just a refocusing technique. So playing Call of Duty when you have anxiety actually makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah. What about a campaign full of kobold bards, and in the end they resurrect their master with... I've never actually... What is Death Clock? I'm not sure what Death Clock is. Oh, wasn't that a TV show? I never actually saw it. I'm familiar with... No. Yeah, it was a TV show, like a heavy metal TV show, right? I never actually saw it. I did play a half-orc bard once that was awesome. I played a bard half-orc that with their instrument was... Yes, you may boop. Their instrument was war drums. So it was a half-orc If I recall that character correctly, it was half orc and the other half was giant. But it was mechanically wise, there was a half orc bard with war drums, and their weapon was their war drum mallets, because those were actually just clubs, non-improvised clubs. That was a really cool character. I liked that character a lot. Because it took the idea of a bard, like imagine in your mind a bard. Now ignore that and imagine how cool this bard is. Banging war drums to a beat to inspire all of their allies to a vigorous fervor and a frenzy to attack. Instead of, the fancy bard playing in the inn, this is someone wearing, who actually has chainmail proficiency, who is actually in the middle of the fight, who's actually in the middle of the fight more often than not. It was a really cool character. I liked that character. I might resurrect them at some point for a campaign. Oh no, Jade's coming to give a kiss. Aww. Bard was big boy, very much so. He actually bought barding armor. If you know what barding mail is, you know that would not work. But he didn't care. It had bard in the name. He wanted it. Were you going to tell him no? Was the storekeeper going to tell him no? They certainly were not. So he bought and was wearing barding armor. Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. Great character. Love that character. Remembering Orphanage? Blood and Fire. I see. Well, different imaginations for different people. You know what? If that helps calm you, then that can be good, I guess. I don't know. I feel like sometimes if your imagination involves the suffering of others, in the long term it might lead to more anxiety than it resolves in the short term. Like it's the same thing as getting angry and imagining punching somebody. Yeah, that might have catharsis. That's right. That's what I'm looking for. It's catharsis rather than healing. You're giving yourself the catharsis of that, but you won't actually experience the healing that's involved in centering or refocusing techniques. In the short term, you might need that, but in the long term, it's better to have good coping techniques, right? It's better to be able to work through and process your things. Have I ever heard Corpse Husband's voice? Yes, I've actually. I used to watch Disguised Host, and I watched some of his Corpse Husband was on Disguised Host's Among Us streams fairly often, and I enjoyed that. You hear the words barding armor and think kilt? Barding is what you call armor for horses. Armor for horses is called barding. That was the joke, is that he was wearing armor that was actually made for a horse, but because he was like 3 meters tall or something, yeah, because he was around 3 meters tall, they actually just retooled the barding armor for the horse and gave it to him because he wanted it and it said barding. But no, I am familiar with Corpse Husband, and I think his voice is very pleasant. Big fan. I don't know if that's his natural speaking voice. I assume it's not, but I can't hit those notes. No, I'm not doing that. Am I revealing Dragon Voice today on a whim? Nah, that's not today. No, I'm not going to do that today. Alright, so... But yeah, no, Corpse Husband's voice is very interesting and very cool, and I love how clicky and resonanted it gets. Are people going to... Okay. Again, did I promise that before and not do it? Oh, whoops. Ah. Hold up. Okay, fine. You get to hear Dragon Voice today. This is a very dangerous voice. I hope you appreciate that. Okay. One sec. It's kind of like a reverse falsetto. It's kind of like a reverse falsetto. Hold up. I actually have to work out my throat before I can do this properly. I actually have to stretch my throat to do this. And more water. Always more water. See, where is it? Greetings, friends. Dragon voice is down in this register here. It is deep and resonant and cruel. It is an interesting voice, very vampiric, very rude. How do you do this fine day? What brings you into my lair? Well, we know how to deal with you here. We can handle a little one such as you, a little being. Ha 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 ha. There's nothing to fear from you. Ara. Yes, that is my Ara voice. Ara, what have we here? A little kobold? Well, we know how to handle such things, don't we? There, that's my Ara voice. You've heard my Ara voice. There we go. That is dragon voice. It's Oh, you wanted me to Oh, I see. You wanted me to say Ara and then okay, yeah. It's a fun voice. It's a fun voice to do. Like I've done one stream entirely in dragon voice. Actually, one time. That stream is dead. You cannot find that stream. That stream no longer exists on the internet. But one time I did a whole stream in dragon voice. How come in fantasy kobold are sometimes seen as derpy, adorable dragons and some as creepy, weird rats? Oh, that's actually a really interesting question that I can answer. Kobolds are Scandinavian mine fae. They're fae creatures yeah. Sometimes they take they are referred to in different forms. Sometimes as a salamander, which is a more of the what I have what they're going on now here, and sometimes more of a rat. Sometimes more like a brownie or a what's the other phrase thing? Yeah, or sometimes like a Scandinavian folk creature. Even if you go on. Let me pull up a couple of things here. So, you brownie. That was yeah. So there's different. The funny thing is that kobolds have some sort of presence in so many different mythologies. In Japan, they're seen more as dogs. Like if you look up Japanese kobolds, they're dog-faced creatures. And that's partially to do with the classic of Dungeons & Dragons, because the first edition of Dungeons & Dragons has had dog kobolds, and that was actually very popular in Japan. That was the inspiration for the Record of the Lotus War, which we watched a while back in Discord when we played through the Record of the Lotus War game, Wonder Labyrinth. And so that kind of stuck. And then in most of Europe, the kobold was seen as either a small, hairy critter, or the salamander, and in D&D they turn them into dragon types. They turn them into small draconic creatures. My character is actually less of a D&D kobold and more of that wasn't kind of. That's kind of what everyone assumes. It's weird because I don't even think D&D is the best tabletop system by a wide stretch. But that's why kobolds are sometimes dragons, sometimes rats, and sometimes dogs. Dogs are actually very, very common as well. Dungeon Meshi uses dog kobolds, the manga, which is a fantastic manga. I highly recommend it. Probably my favorite manga. But yeah. Oh yeah, Doggerbold Jade. There, someone actually drew me as a dog kobold. It was of course Sapphire because you know they're amazing. So here is me as Dogbold. I like it. I think it's adorable. I'm not rebranding though. Don't worry. But no, that's the reason why is because kobolds are not a specific thing. Like if you think dragon, you have well, no, actually no. Think of dragon. Think of an Eastern dragon, and think of a Western dragon. They're two like completely different designs. Think about a dragon from the Americas, like a quaddle, or you know did the First Nations have a? I don't think the First Nations had a real concept of dragon, but they had thunderbirds, which would be that type of things. Actually, someone has made someone actually has made an axolotl jade. That's actually a thing that was actually made this past week. Someone actually made me as an axolotl. It's something I'm very very proud of. I'm proud that somebody thought of me to make that, is what I mean to say. I'm proud that somebody thought about me to make that. So yeah, no, that's why there's so many diversity of kobolds, because kobold is just a mythological creature. And in the same way that dragons and coatl for Aztec dragons and the long serpent Chinese dragons are all dragons under the umbrella, the dog kobold, the rat kobold, the lizard kobold, and the brownie kobold are all just different ways civilizations takes on kobolds. And all of them have some things in common. You know, they're all small creatures. They all like mining. They all like, they're all insular in their society, but are very fiercely protective of each other. All the kobolds have very similar traits and personality. In the same way that dragons, no matter where they're from, have some similar traits as well. Do you like Candle? I don't like the Warcraft kobolds. But real talk, I don't like their calls. So no, I can say I don't like Candle. First place you saw them was a Korean MMO where they were adorable doggos with crossbows. Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Korean and Japanese use the dogbold style. Dinosaur originally thought to be a dragon and named Quetzalcoatl. Yep, that is true. Actually, I can pull that. It was. I don't know if dinosaur is the right word because that was an avian, right? Yeah, that was a bird. Yeah, Quetzalcoatlus. Yeah, Quetzalcoatlus. Ooh, there's a good picture. I'll get this one here. Save image as Jade Stream Tools. Why is that a web.webp? What the heck is that kind of file? Why would anybody use that type of file? If you regularly used .webp files, I don't appreciate you. And there we go. Got it. This is a Quetzalcoatlus, to scale. Yeah, that's the Quetzalcoatlus, to scale of what it was. It's enormous. It's just heckin' huge, and yes, it could fly. And they suspect that it dive bombed prey, and oh, that's actually wait. I thought they found it to have talons. Hold on. They don't have I thought that Quetzalcoatlus was found to have rending talons. Maybe this is an old image. I don't know. Big pterosaur. Yeah, big pterosaur. That's a good way of phrasing it. It's a big pterosaur. That explains the Quetzal used an Ark. Okay. I never played Ark. I never... Jade throwing shade at file things. Yes, no, I have opinions. WebP is like... nothing. What nobody has intentionally used a WebP. That's not true at all, but don't worry about it. I choose to believe that. Oh yeah, no, Merchant Miss Dragon voice. Second favorite bird next to vultures? I don't know if... I think my favorite bird... What's it... Kestrel. I think a kestrel is probably my favorite bird. I'm pulling up a picture. Because it's one of the few birds of prey with vibrant colors. Yeah, the American kestrel. And this one isn't a WebP, so I can actually save it easily. Eh. Yeah, my favorite bird is probably the kestrel, because it has the beautiful plumage, it has the bright coloring, and yet it is a carnivore. It is a bird of prey. I think they're pretty. And I don't usually like a lot of birds, honestly. Alright, so we're at the 3-hour mark. I mean, unless you guys want me to spend an hour talking about, like, unless you guys start asking questions, or you want to have me spend an hour talking about Final Fantasy games, that's probably about, where we were planning on doing a stream with, duration-wise. But yeah, no, I think the new tracking is really good. I mean, I hope you guys like it. I mean, if you guys don't, then... sorry? Deal with it. Yeah, 3 hours already. Jeez, right? And honestly, like, the stream's been doing really well. But apparently I need to do more Q&A streams. Like, I was afraid that this wouldn't go well because I was afraid people wouldn't show up, but... tell us all of Final Fantasy... Okay, I will go... you know what? We're going right down the line. We're doing this. We're doing this right down the line. Hold on. Aw, thank you. On a scale of 1 to 20, what is your favorite color of the alphabet? Helvetica rounded. Okay. Honestly, you know what? I could do... you know what? Okay, 3 weeks. So, okay, this week is this. Next week is the Kobold meme review with Lunabold, which is going to be amazing. That's going to be fantastic. The week after that, I will... you know what? Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. I'll do a full stream talking about Final Fantasy series. Yeah, I'll do a full stream. I'll probably do it in VR. Yeah, I'll do a VR, I'm sorry, a 3D modeled stream, and talk about my thoughts about all the Final Fantasy series, all the way top to bottom. I can long story short it. 1, 2, and 3, virtually unplayable in the modern era. They did not age well. They were fantastic games in their time. The cast of them is actually good. Ferris is one of the best girls in Ferris is one of the best boys in Final Fantasy. But the games did not age well, and 2 is virtually unplayable, just because of the core mechanics of it. 4, 5, 6, best of the series. 5 is the best mechanics of the series. 6 is the best storyline of all Final Fantasy. Great games. They've aged extremely well. They currently have remasters in production. You can get them on Steam soon. They're not, the 5 and 6 are not out yet, and I know that's the ones most people are most excited for, but 5 and 6, the 4 one just came out, so the Final Fantasy 4 remake just came out in September, and now they're working on the 5. It's a pixel remaster, so it has the same quality as the original one, which is the things like the phone remake and the 3DS and the remakes did not have. But those are some of the best Final Fantasy games. 7, good. It's a good game. It's overrated. It can be good and overrated. It can be both. It's a good game that is rated higher than it deserves, but it is still a good game, but it is also overrated. That's my take on it. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. The best storyline is 6. The best storyline after 6. Here's my hot take for the day. The best Final Fantasy storyline after 6 is Chains of Promethea. The expansion for Final Fantasy XI is the best storyline Square has written after Final Fantasy VI, and is nothing less than a tragedy that most people will never see it. Experiencing that storyline is incredible, and cutscenes don't really do it justice because of the way it's delivered in the world, the way you have to know the world that it takes place in. So yeah, Final Fantasy VIII, bad mechanics, needed more story. I know people say it's too long. No, 8 needed more story because it needed a whole extra disc worth of content to round out the plots at the end and to wrap up the plot threads. It just wasn't finished. I mean, narratively. They tried to show off so much plot at the end, and it needed more time to flesh out with the ending sequence so that you actually understood why you cared about that sort of stuff. 9 is fantastic. I love Final Fantasy 9. I think 9 is probably my right on my favorite Final Fantasy games. The mechanics work well. The mechanics force you to think about gear not just in terms of what has the highest stats, but in terms of what is the best. But what gives you the abilities you need. And I actually think that mechanic works really well. It's not just I equip the item with the highest stats. It's I equip the item that gives me the abilities that I need, but do I equip this a new item I got that is really powerful? Or do I it makes you think about gear in not just a linear fashion, which I like. I think that's a really good addition to the series that didn't really get explored much later on. 10 is honestly the best modern baseline Final Fantasy. If you have never played a Final Fantasy game, play Final Fantasy X. And yes, Vivi is a very, very good boy. Final Fantasy X is a good game. Is it the best Final Fantasy? No. But it's a good, solid Final Fantasy game that really sets the stage for good Final Fantasy games. 11 is good. I had an entire stream about Final Fantasy 11 and how it's criminally underrated. Which again, being underrated does not mean that it's that it's great. I'm not saying it's like some undiscovered gem that everybody should play. No, it's go watch that stream. I did a literal entire stream on the pros and cons of Final Fantasy XI. 12 is the same mechanics as Final Fantasy XI, just offline. 12 is very much Final Fantasy XI offline mechanically. You could argue that 12 is better than 10, but I don't think you could argue that 12 is a better representation of the Final Fantasy series on the whole than 10. I don't think that's an argument that you're going to get a lot of ground on. 12, you could argue it's a better game, and you know what, fair, I can see where you're coming from, but 10 is the best cross-slice of what Final Fantasy is, just how it presents everything and how its mechanics work and all that jazz. 12 is a good game, but it's Final Fantasy XI offline, and yeah, it's Final Fantasy XI offline. Where you actually have to program your allies. I have not played 13. I have actually never... That's the only Final Fantasy game that I have never actually played. I've never played 13. I plan to once I finish 10-2, which I'm playing right now. Um, 14, go watch the Final Fantasy 11 stream. I talk about 14 a lot. It's not for me. It's not the kind of MMO that I want to play. 15 is good. I enjoyed 15. It's fine. It's not amazing. It's not, it's not incredible, but it's a fun game. And the storyline, even though it does become fairly absurdist, the storyline is not what's important about 15. What's important about 15 is the character interactions, and the character interactions in 15 are fantastic. The overarching story in 15 is not as important as the moment-to-moment, I am going on a road trip with my friends narrative that the game is foundationally based on. That foundation, that base of the game that I am with friends and having a good time, is really, really good. Also, I didn't play 15 until until all of the DLC was out. So I played the quote-unquote completed version of 15 for what it's worth. So I didn't play it until all of the DLC and all the patches were out. I know that people who played it at when it first launched had a much different experience. Same with 12. I didn't play 12 until Zodiac Age came out, so my experience with that has also shifted. Just a little bit, that's just the experience that I had. I'll go into more detail. I will go in 2 weeks. I will do a chat stream about Final Fantasy, and I will go into my full details breakdowns of graphics, gameplay, and storyline thoughts on each of the games. And I'll probably even give a full character rating, character thoughts on all of them too, because that sounds like a really fun stream to have. Forever incomplete. That happens. Look, the game dev production cycles, that happens. Scope creep is real and very dangerous, and they scope creeped. And that's surprising, because Square is not a company that usually scope creeps, right? Usually they manage to maintain their internal scope fairly stable, but they didn't. They let the scope get out of the hand, and they paid the cost of it, frankly. Yeah, the character interaction is what sells 15. Absolutely. It's K-pop boy band road trips. You're not wrong. It's cute boys doing cute things. The game. And that part of Final Fantasy 15 is fantastic. The overarching story of 15, The combat in 15, pretty good. The moments that your characters make when you go camping and make food for them, that's the actual heart and soul of Final Fantasy 15. And that's what they actually did very well. And that's what I like about it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I like what 15 does well, it does very well. The moment-to-moment heartfelt conversations and genuine fraternal love they have for each other is just on display. It's like Final Fantasy. It's yeah. It's what it's doing well is done very well, and that's what it's doing well. Like, I love Final Fantasy V, but if we're being honest, the story in Final Fantasy V ain't that great. The game's phenomenal, and I love the game. It's literally, one of my best mechanic Final Fantasy games. I also feel like it just doesn't fit doesn't feel like Final Fantasy. That's fair. That's fair. You could say the same about Dirge of Cerberus. But that has Gact, so it's instantly redeemed. Dirge of Cerberus has Gact, so it's instantly redeemed, and a good game because it has Gact. Look. Gact is very cute, okay? And I only have one question. Square Enix. Is Gact going to be in Final Fantasy VII Remake? Because Gact is a canon Final Fantasy VII character. Gact is in Final Fantasy VII. He's a Dirge of Cerberus character. He's actually a canon character. We have to have him. Are you going to hire Gact? Are you going to actually model Gact in full PS5 resolution for Final Fantasy VII Remake? Because I think that we deserve that. I think we've earned that as a community. We've supported you for so long. We bought Dirge of Cerberus. We played Dirge of Cerberus. If nothing else than just for payment for playing Dirge of Cerberus, you must give us Gact, please. I beg of you. That's for all the Square Enix executives that regularly watch my streams, I'm sure. Hi. I think I'm actually blushing in real life now, too. Hyde is also very cute. No, Hyde is adorable. There's no question of that. I prefer Gact, but the Hyde is also... yep. Very... yes. Just, yes. Very yes. Yep. We're just gonna file that into a yes. Hi. Where were we? I forget what we were talking about. Height is also 5'3". True. Height is pocket-sized. Sorry, I was where were we? Right. Gact. I just think it'd be neat to have Gact in Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's all I'm saying. I just think that would be a really interesting path for them to take. That's all. When the gay side of your brain decides to take the reins. Fair. I've never felt so called out by something that's so true. Anyways. We should watch Moonchild in chat sometime. We should watch Moonchild. It's a terrible movie, but it has Gact in it, and the entire time. It's really not a great movie, but it's a fun movie. Okay. We'll go another couple minutes. Kenji Otsuki. Moonchild was okay. It was amazing, but you got to admit it was dumb. Like it's the kind of dumb amazing. Yeah, okay, it's amazing. Yeah, okay, it's amazingly bad. Yeah. It's amazing in a dumb way. It's the kind of thing you just turn off your brain and go hee movie. I'm watching a movie. you get yourself in that mindset, and it's like, yeah. It's good dumb fun. Good dumb fun, I think, is how I would describe it. Is it a good movie? No. There's no second part to that statement. It's not a good movie. Yeah, you watched it for Hyde, I watched it for Gact. I get it. I respect. Oh, wait, wow. Wait a minute. You guys actually get to see all of my head bobs. It's actually tracking all of my fidgets well. And my frills are getting. I like the animation, the physics on my frills better in this model, in this capture. Favorite dumb movie other than Moonchild? Prince of Persia was not a great movie, but it was fun in a sit down, turn off brain, watch movie sort of way. Is it a fantastic movie? No. Did I enjoy watching it? I did. Sometimes that's more important, right? Sometimes it's just, sometimes you just want to watch pretty pictures on the screen, right? Kobold said there's a 3D model. This Kobold snout. Wait, 1 second. I will actually pull up. I'm not going to go into it because it's actually set up to my to a full VR. Like I have to do like a full 10 minutes of setup to actually go into it. But I do have. I need to retake some pictures because I have better pictures now. But yes, this is my 3D model. I like how it turned out. And just so you can see the snoot. That's a good picture of Snoot. He's a good model. Favorite game in the last 5 years and 10 years. Gosh, Part of my brain is going, well, it's like, what, 2005 now? So past 10 years would be going back to 95. So there was that would count for Final Fantasy VI. But like, wait a minute. That's not how, dang it, that's not how time works. Heck. Favorite game in past 5 and 10 years? That's tough. So what makes that tough is because different games in different genre are so uncomparable. Like, I'm gonna go, to classic games and talk about them for a moment, but like, how do you compare Monkey Island to Half-Life? How do you make a meaningful metric that compares Monkey Island and Half-Life? You can't. Like, they're so different games. They're so wildly different that you just can't meaningfully compare the two. So how do I say which one is better? That's how I feel about that sort of question. Like, Chimera Squad I think is a great game, but how do I compare Chimera Squad to Bloons Tower Defense, which I play, every couple days? Bloons Tower Defense is a really fun game. I love it. I love Bloons Tower Defense. It's not even comparable to Chimera Squad. They're so different. They're just wildly different experiences. How do I compare Soma to A Hat in Time? I can't. There's just no basis of comparison to them. Like, it's like saying, how do you compare, Citizen Kane to The Matrix? Like, there's so much different between the two movies. Like, how do you compare Rocky and Bullwinkle to the Batman animated series? Like, I don't know. I got nothing. I don't live a life. I don't live a life where I can simplify my mind down to pick a favorite without going into genre-specific considerations. My mind just doesn't work like that. Best JRPG in the past 5 years? Oh, I know the answer that I hate. I can tell you the wrong answer. Do you want to hear the wrong answer? Remember when Monster Hunter World won the best RPG category of the Game Awards? Like, it's not an RPG, but like it's from Japan and it has RPG mechanics, and it won. This is not my answer, but like that reminded me of that, and it makes me angry. But Citizen Kane failed to get you to care about it? That's sad. I mean, no, that's unfortunate that you didn't get the emotional connection that the movie wanted you to get. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I mean, I'm not gonna say like any value judgments at it, but for you, Citizen Kane failed to elicit the emotional reaction that it elicited in many other people, which is fine. You're your own person, and that's how it affected you. Yeah, that's too bad. Let's see. Citizen Kane spoilers. Yeah, no, that's the other thing, is that so many people went into the movie with the spoilers for the final scene, and it really is it really could be a different experience, like seeing it in theaters and not knowing that spoiler, like seeing Citizen Kane in theaters and not knowing what's going to happen at the end. That's just a massively different, experience than knowing from the get-go what the thesis of the movie is, because it's been studied so much, That's also completely fair. Oh, good night, Connor. Best JRPG of the past 5 years. I would ask if Bloodborne counts as a JRPG, because I wouldn't consider it, and I'm pretty sure that's not what you're considering. but so that some people have considered it such. I'd say probably Persona 5, even though I haven't played it through. Either that or Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I really enjoyed. Xenoblade was a good thing. Actually. I guess when did Bravely Default come out? Because that would actually no. I'm gonna go Octopath Traveler on that. You know what? No, I'm gonna switch my answer now that I think about it more. Now that I think about it more, I'm gonna go with Octopath Traveler. Octopath Traveler is my favorite JRPG that came out in the past for little whiles. Good night, Amber. Sleep well, friend. We're gonna be wrapping up here in just a minute, anyways. You had it spoiled when you were a kid because it was referencing a kids show you watched a lot. Yeah, no, that'll do it. Like going through the movie in the mindset of the reporter who's trying to figure out and understand this, understand this person. That's just a different experience, and your experience was tainted. I mean, it's like anybody who went into Star Wars knowing Vader's secret, like actually learning that in the movie theater, it makes it very, very different. Although I think that Star Wars 1 detracts less from the overall plot if you know it, but that is still more impactful if you don't. Bravely Default is like playing the game 4 times. That's a reasonable response. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Octopath Traveler is great though. Octopath Traveler was fantastic. Vader is German for father. Okay, I mean, I've always took the Vader, the Darth as in sort of thing. Darth Vader, Invader, because that's what he was. Darth Sidious, Insidious. Yeah, like just that's kind of I always like that interpretation of it. Have I ever watched American Graffiti? I have not. I'm not familiar with that. Hmm. I mean, not exactly, but that's an interpretation that I think is interesting. And it sort of fell apart when Darth Maul came out, but that was an interesting interpretation because Insidious, Invader, Ingrievous actually is a word as well. But it also fits the personality of where they were going in the first movie. He is the invading force. Keep in mind that the first movie existed in a vacuum before they realized there was going to be, before they knew they were going to have enough money for sequels. That's why a lot of the best classic movies, trilogies, the first movie was made to be standalone, and they didn't have a movie deal. Like nowadays, you get signed for 3 movies. Like, it's wild. Thoughts on Doctor Who? Tennant is cute. Moffat is a hack. That's the short version of it. David Tennant is a cutie. The 4th Doctor, Baker, the one with the scarf, Baker, I want to say it was, probably has the best character and persona and the most well developed persona of the classic Doctor, and I think that it was a simpler time back then when you could just write a story that didn't have to go deep, that didn't have to get into some crazy bonkers deep narrative on it. You could just write a fun story back then, and I think that was much to its favor. But That's not the world we live in anymore, and the Doctor has to be edgy sometimes, I guess. Stephen Moffat's a hack. That's my 2 cents on that. But yeah, David Tennant's cute. David Tennant is easy on the eyes. But I liked him before he was the Doctor, to be fair. Although I guess I liked Stephen Moffat before he started writing Doctor Who and really started to... And oh my gosh, what he did to Sherlock is criminal. What Moffat did to Sherlock is absolutely criminal. Jeez. I swear to heck. Oh, Darth Maul came. Oh, I see where you were going. I see where you were going with that. I get it. I get it. Okay, I get it now. Ah. Pa. Pa, 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 pa. Is that actually picking up on audio? Popcat. Okay, I'm getting silly. I think this is a good place to end. Well, opinions about Mousy? You are a good bean, who is more lewd than I expected when I first started talking to you, which is something that concerns me about things and future collabs which we had discussed. But I think you are cool and nice. That's the honest truth. I mean, I'm not going to lie or anything. That's the honest opinion. I think you're a cool person. So let's see. Tomorrow is Dread. Opinions on moths. Moths rule. Moths are awesome. Just nighttime butterflies. I prefer night to day. Like, I genuinely am more comfortable in the evening and in the dark. Always have been. Maybe I'll go for a walk before community stuff. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, we'll go do community stuff in a little bit. But yeah. So yes, tomorrow we're gonna start. So here's the thing. Hear me out. Okay. Hear me out. Before we end, I want to make a statement. Hi. Okay, thank you for listening. But what if that was it though? So right now our primary game is going to be Metroid Dread, which is coming out tomorrow, and I'm going to play it on launch day. And I know I'm going to get dunked on the ratings because I'm going to be overlapping Ame. I think it's Ame is streaming it. So real talk, people are going to be watching Ame instead of me, but I want to play the game, and that's not going to stop me because I'm going to be playing it for myself. And if you guys are more than welcome to join me. And yeah, Hololive is going to be playing it with I'm pretty sure it was Ame. Was it Ame? If it was Gur, then I'm done for it. Like there goes any chance of ratings. But I don't care. I'm playing it. I'm going to enjoy it. That's going to be the primary game in the Monday-Friday slot. And Prey is going to be the primary game in the Wednesday-Saturday slot. And then next month is going to be the Go Godot Game Jam, which is mostly going to be taking up the Thursday slot for stuff until the jam proper, which is going to be the full weekend. And I'm going to do my first 24-hour stream during the judging for that. That's going to be a big deal. And then I have people who I want to collab with, and I have collabs lined up to do with people, like Mousy for one, and Cirrus for another. I have a big lengthy collab set up with Neko Cirrus, who's always a delight to work with. But right now we have 2 big games, and we have the game jam coming up, so that has to be my priority. Simply because I don't have infinite time. I wish I did. It'd be so nice. But yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to mention that before night. That's the plan. We have Prey for spooky times. We have Dread for Metroidvania fun, new game hype moment stuff. And after the end, I don't know how long either of those are going to be. I don't know how long of a game Metroid Dread is going to be, and I don't know how long of a game Prey is. No idea. At least one of them is probably going to overlap into the game jam, and then into the game, and then after those, I have some other collab, and I have plenty of other games I want to play. But I just wanted to mention that is the current plan, because the game jam is something that I'm definitely involved in. I'm deeply involved in that. Like, I'm actually helping with the organizational side of that, which is hype. It's real hype, you're not gonna lie. And yeah. But I have plenty of content lined up. Right now I have too much content lined up. That's the honest truth, is that right now I have too much content lined up. I mean, good problems to have, right? Like, good problems to have too much content. Oh no. But we are going to be doing those things. So make sure you subscribe. I mean, most of you guys have subscribed, but make sure you subscribe again. Hit the bell option, I guess, if you want to hit a bell. I don't know. Bells are cool. I like bells. Do you like bells? I hope you like bells. I'm going to hit the button again. Hit the button. Is it being laggy? There, I hit the button. Now, there's the button thing. Yay, button. Oh yeah, I was going to tell a story about that. Okay. Last story. This thing here was available for free-ish. It was on a site saying, "Hey, here," they had a video of that was like watermark, they had a whole bunch of stuff, and said, "This is free for anybody who wants to use it. Click here." And then it brought you to a scam page where you had to enter credit card information and and send it to another country. And it's like, no, I will not. It's like, here's a free asset for you that anybody can use. And then they layered it behind like 6 different torrent style places with 30 ads, and then required you to actually sign up for a service. It's like, no, I will not. So I actually, the first part is obviously me. This is something that that one of the mods made for me, and I love the logo. But this animation here, I actually managed to scrub out of a video, which was super hard, but super worth it, because I have a button. And I don't feel guilty about it because it was described as being free for anyone who wants to use it. So as far as I'm concerned, that's Creative Commons. They Creative Commons out so I could use it. And I would have, honestly, real talk, if they said, "Hey, give us $3.99 and you can have, and you get this little stinger, this little subscription stinger," I'd have paid him. I'm just not going to do something that seems super, super sketch. I'm just not going to do something super, super sketch the way that they wanted me to. So, like, yeah, I don't feel bad at all about that. Okay. Wow. I was afraid I was going to have enough content to fill in an hour, and here we are at 3 hours and 40 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I am overwhelmed. Somehow this did better than some of my game streams, and I have genuinely no idea how or why. You guys are wild, and I love all of you. Cheers, friends, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Bye.